Sadly, we have to go way back to 1978 for New Zealand's one and only Test victory against Australia in international men's basketball. But there's high expectation among the sellout crowd here in Wellington that because of encouraging form at the Goodwill Games, it might well be New Zealand's turn again at this World Championship qualifying series. The Australians were disappointing in Brisbane and they're under all sorts of pressure. So I'm going to ask our commentator, Dean Page, whether in fact he feels this Australian side is vulnerable.
Well, they certainly are vulnerable, at least all the Australians back home would have you believe that. They're a young team, they're an athletic team, they're a big team. Adrian Boyd, Tab's chosen to go with some guards, perhaps to mix it up and get a bit of a transition game going, particularly with the inclusion of Mark Dickel. He brings an element of excitement to this team.
Oh, yeah, you got to remember, with Tab Baldwin in the scouting report of the team today, it's like these guys have to play well above the expectation level. You got guards who's going to have to come in and do the jobs as a small forward, as well as some of the centers have to play, other roles as well, just to make ends meet.
We don't have Sean Marks, we don't have Kirk Penny. The Australians are without their best big man, Paul Rogers. Evens it up a little bit. However, the battle is going to be for Tony Rampton and Pero Cameron on this big rotation.
It's one of those things, just coming out playing smart basketball. When you guys got guys like Pero Cameron, Willie Burton, as well as Tony Rampton out there, these guys have to come out and they have to play smart, sound basketball without getting inside foul trouble because of the fact they don't have the depth to actually go into and bang with the bigger guys. So basically, tonight's ball game is going to be about playing smart basketball and saving all your fouls.
We did it 23 years ago. It was in Wellington. We went very close last week at the Goodwill Games. I've just got a feeling we can get this one here tonight.
Good confident stuff there, Dean. Well, the men at the helm are both in their first year as national coach, and understandably, they're both just a little bit on edge. First up, Tab Baldwin.
From within the camp, the expectation is already very strong, and I wouldn't say so much winning. We do want that as the outcome, and we're desperate to get that, but we know that the process to get that is a good performance. So I think the expectation we put on ourselves is to go out and play very well, play within our systems, and if we do that, then I think, we can be happy with the result, and I think a lot of other people will as well.
Okay, so do you think the players as a team have improved enough since the Goodwill Games?
Well, the pivotal word there is enough, and I don't know that, and we won't know that until later in this game because obviously Australia will have improved as well. We've certainly improved, and that's what we're going to play the game tonight for, John, to find out if it's enough.
Oh, look, it's a pretty important series. The expectation is to win, so, we have to accomplish that.
You've got a lot of new players since the Olympic Games. It's taken some time for them to settle down, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty fair call. We've got one former Olympian, and he didn't play a lot of time, so it's a fairly new group, and it takes a while to develop an understanding with each other.
We know that you were involved in that only defeat by a New Zealand team of Australia. You won't want that to happen again tonight, of course. Do you think this team's good enough to make sure of beating New Zealand?
Oh, yeah, look, we're very confident. Certainly we respect New Zealand. They're coming out of the Olympic Games, out of the Goodwill Games, so they've got a good platform that they've built on. For us, we're a new group, but very talented. The question is, can we get that talent to play tonight?
Well, the teams are being introduced to the crowd here at the event centre in Wellington. As they stand by, we stand by too for the national anthems, and they will be sung by Wellington entertainer Frankie Stevens.
Number 10, number 12, and captain, number 11, Pero Cameron. Tall Blacks as coached by Tab Baldwin, assisted by Nana Hushade. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to ask you to stand in the national anthems as sung by Mr. Frankie Stevens. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is good by sea. Our lands abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then live Ladies and gentlemen, could you please remain standing, join hands with the person next to you, and acknowledge with a moment's silence the tragic events that happened in America just 10 days ago. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A tribute that's being paid at sports events worldwide.
Mr. Frankie Stevens. As you can see by the scoreboard, we have a 5-minute warm-up for both teams, at which time...
Now the teams have a 5-minute warm-up and we'll be back soon for the tip-off in Wellington.
The New Zealand starting five, a change. Flavel comes in for Hanare. Phil Jones is a shooter. Boucher, he's come from nowhere to get a starting spot. The big man, the captain, Pero Cameron, is joined by the tallest member of the team, Tony Rampton. Coming off the bench for the Tall Blacks, the electrifying Mark Dickel, Paul Hanare, Brendan Kathipongia, the veteran. Well, the veteran in a teenager's body, Willie Burton, and younger brother, Damon Rampton. The imposing Australian Boomers, they're led by Brett Maher, Glenn Saville, Daniel Egan, Ben Melmoth and Ben Knight. The Boomer bench is big and strong. We have McGregor, Darryl McDonald from the Victoria Titans, Matty Nielsen, Axel Dench and Derek Moore. Outstanding crowd has joined these two teams at the Queen's Wharf Event Centre.
Smart basketball, and that's the bottom line tonight, just to play very smart. According to Tad Baldwin, his main words for tonight would just be execution. They need to execute both on the offensive skills as well as on the defensive skills for tonight's game.
New Zealand, they showed in the Goodwill Games in Brisbane some very good half-court patient offense, running all their plays, the triangle offense that Tab has worked so hard to implement into this team. Is that an area that we need to work, or should we be trying to run these Australians off the floor?
Well, you got to remember, with the triangle offense, it just exploits any weakness that another team may have. If you have a team with the triangle offense where it's like maybe they're a little bit too slow or maybe they're a little bit too fast, the offense allows you to actually exploit that and take a serious advantage of that.
The teams prepare. The Australian Boomers are facing the Haka, led by Brendan Pongia. A lot of pride by that man, Willie Burton, in the background. He's just learned the Haka. He's new. He's 39 years old, the veteran rookie. And he plays with passion for his Tall Black side. Adrian Boyd, we can talk about passion. The first time that they were in the face of the Australians with that Haka. Normally it's done at the other end of the floor, teams well apart. Not tonight. The Kiwis want this. They know if they're going to have a chance of taking the Burger King series and moving on to the World Championships, they need this game.
Oh, by all means necessary. The way I look at it, this is basically a rejuvenated team. I mean, right now, looking into the eyes of those guys and the way they warmed up and the way they've been preparing all week, that's a totally different guys. I mean, I don't even recognize half those guys, not even from the National League. This is a totally different team. Tad Baldwin has pretty much grabbed the troops and said, hey, guys, they're on a mission and they're focused. So the way I look at it, this is a totally different team. This is totally different expectations. I even expect a different game plan to actually come out with tonight's strategies.
The referees in charge of the entire series, well, tonight in the first two games in particular, Kenny Colson from New Zealand. He will toss the ball up. The man with the back to camera is Tony Webb from Australia. They are joined by Golden Koloko from the Solomon Islands. The Australians will look to get a good start and certainly put some heat on this Tall Black team early. Saville comes up short on the first shot of this game, of the series. Nice work there by Ma. Australia, third possession in a row. Oh, a little bit cold. And is that an offensive foul?
There we go. That was an excellent box out by big Pero Cameron.
Foul called on Glenn Saville. Pero Cameron plays a lot bigger than his 6'6" that he is.
Oh, yeah, that's one guy. He has a lot of hidden talent. His strength is just amazing.
Cameron now just setting up the triangle. They want to get on the post. Tony Rampton there plays his basketball with Cairns. And a nice little fadeaway. Great start for the Tall Blacks.
Oh, by all means, it's good to get on the board first, especially with Tony Rampton. He's one of those confident players. For him to make his first shot, he could have an excellent ball game tonight.
Ben Knight unable to go anywhere, so he feeds Saville. Goes into Melmoth. Oh, tried to kept alive by Boucher for New Zealand. Can't do. Saville outside to May. Can't give him too many open looks. The Kiwis on the break. Flavel.
Oh, there we go. So that's what the Kiwis actually need. They need that bold of confidence to get some easy layups and get some easy scores up front.
Interesting that Tab Baldwin has opted to go with Judd Flavel. Certainly played a lot of minutes at the Goodwill Games, as we see a nice look there to Ben Knight. And following through was Melmoth for the tip-in. Flavel going one-on-one. Great position there by Knight. Yeah, certainly he was playing behind Paul Henare in Brisbane, but Tab Baldwin opting to use Flavel with Henare under a little bit of an injury cloud.
You got to remember, Judd, and like I say, this is, he more or less, he's living his dream. For years now, he always wanted to put on the tall black uniform, and now he's one of those guys who's like a dream come true. For him to actually get out there and show his talents, I'm pretty sure he wants to take advantage of as much as possible.
Great feed inside to Boucher. That came from Rampton, and Dylan Boucher came in to replace Sean Marks for the Goodwill Game squad and has taken every opportunity to get a starting spot. Just all-out hustle is Dylan Boucher in the number 10 singlet for the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, Dylan Boucher is one of those guys who's definitely going to hurt you throughout the entire game. He can get in those cracks, get in those seams, and trust me, he'll do the little things that's needed. You may even catch him diving for a loose ball with his head first, as he used to do for his Auckland team.
Phil Jones, a lot resting on his shoulders. He is the only pure shooter in this New Zealand lineup. As we see Knight get another look. He's certainly had a few, but they're not falling for the Australians. The Boomers have not practiced on this court at all this week. They arrived in Wellington on Wednesday, and the Tall Blacks have certainly taken plenty of opportunity to use this floor as we see another lovely feed, a penetrating pass from Boucher to Jones.
Yeah, as you can see here, Phil Jones, he just slips by a screen and tries to go up strong. And I guess the Australians said, hey, look, we'd rather give you a foul and let you earn it from the charity stripe. And right now, you look at the confidence of Phil Jones. When he stepped the line, he's just more or less, he's the same thing. For all the young kids out there watching, remember, with a free throw, it's the same pattern, just like shooting a normal jump shot.
New Zealand need to be effective at the offensive end of the floor. The Australians have a significant height advantage, and that would be expected to be reflected in the rebounding stats later on in the game. So if New Zealand can convert their opportunities or put the Aussies under pressure. As we see Saville with nowhere to go, Boucher cleaning up. Straight away to Judd Flavel. Good hustle there by Boucher, however. The Australians again just securing possession. And Boucher will get called for the reach in behind.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to call all those small reach-ins like that. We're take a disadvantage away from the player. Okay, Dylan's one of those streaky guys who's like, he's good at getting steals, good at getting his hands in the right spots. He's a very active person. And mainly, he plays defense with a lot of aggression.
Brett Maher, the Australian captain. The only player that in this new look team that played at Sydney Olympics. As we see a nice strong move there by Daniel Egan. However, again, they come up empty. Flavel is happy to penetrate. Oh, nice move, Phil Jones.
Oh, yeah, that's upsy-doozy by little Phil Jones there. Now, that's one guy you don't want to start feeling it, I tell you. Phil Jones, look at this. Goes around the guy. Up with the right, flicks it up with the left, off the glass. What else can you ask for from a Kiwi?
Yes, the flying Phil Jones. He's an international basketballer. He has played in Finland. He's played in Greece for the Panathinaikos club. And he plays his basketball locally for the Nelson Giants. As we see a substitution, Dylan Boucher picked up his second foul, which was forced by Saville, penetrating the basket. So Boucher sits down. And
yes, they bring in the Mr. Magic himself, Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, Dickel coming in for Flavel. Damon Rampton came in for Boucher. And really, with Dickel on the floor, the Australians didn't see him in Brisbane. They know him very well as he plays for Victoria. However, he does add, a new dimension to this Tall Black lineup with speed and ball handling.
Oh, yes, he is strictly 100 miles an hour. This guy it takes about 3 seconds to get from one end of the court to the other.
Hasn't been well as Mark Dickel. Had a couple of calf injuries and then a bout of bronchitis. Comes in number 4 as we see a ball from Terry Cameron. And the New Zealand, they're exerting a bit of dominance over the Australians early in game 1.
That's all they need. They need to just that bold of confidence saying that they think they can do it. And trust me, we can get away with the win. Terry Cameron spots up well beyond the three-point line. And once again, it's good.
Well, we've certainly seen that many times. We see Saville going inside. Interesting call. Wait for it. The foul. Foul on the big man, Tony Rampton.
I kind of like a foul like that out of the big guys. It's one of those things you can see them actually playing smart basketball. If you can see Tony Rampton thought he was there for the charge, see the guy coming through, puts his hands up, but once again the referee thinks that he just wasn't there, wasn't planted.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lean as we see Damon Rampton go to work now. Jones plays good defense on Saville. Oh, he's just stone cold, isn't he? He's colder than the air conditioning at the moment. He's Glenn Saville. Damon Rampton comes up with the strip. Here's the speed of Dickel. The Australians need to adjust. Pero again.
Oh, yeah. Don't let the big boy fill it. That's Moneybags PC. Don't let him fill it. Once he gets the old elbow up, I'm telling you, Pero Cameron's a strong shooter.
Listen to the crowd. They are going berserk. They have a belief.
Oh.
The Australians need to have a chat. They didn't expect this, Adrian Boyd.
Oh, no, but not by all means. It's one of those things where it's the only thing you need. Right now, everything's in favor.
Let's go into the Australian huddle. New Zealand All Blacks, and Australian Boomers 4 after 5 minutes of basketball here in Wellington. No one would have thought it. Saville, his 2 points have come from free throws. Melmoth got a tip in. They have not been anywhere near the team. They are a shell of their former self early, but we cannot underestimate this team.
Oh, no way you can. Like right now, they made a couple substitutions into the ball game. They brought in D-Mac. That's what they call him over in Aussie, and he is basically a very good ball handler as well as a penetrator. See if they can actually ignite their offense. And once again, it comes up with an air ball.
Yeah, Matty Nielsen from the Sydney Kings, he plays his basketball. As we said, I don't think they expected the crowd, the passion that the Kiwis are playing with at the moment. Dickel, Damon Rampton gets worked over, nothing called. Pero, now they're marking him. Back to Dickel. Jones, shot clock in single fingers, needs to throw it up, keeps it alive. Oh, great work, Damon Rampton.
The boys are bouncing down there. They said, hey, every shot goes up. You at least got a tall black down there to make sure that, hey, we're going to get a rebound or something positive out of it.
Nielsen trying to work something. In the corner, he goes to Ma. And the ball cleaned up by Phil Jones. Australia, as I said, they are absolutely struggling. Jones! 21-4!
What do you do? What else can you ask for? You're at home. You're in front of a sellout crowd. You're in Wellington. You got the fans behind you playing good basketball. Where else can you go besides stopping to shoot a 3 on a fast break?
Now the crowd gets involved with the defense chart. Almost a strip by Jones. Melmoth recovers. Ma. Again, and we've got Pero, an off-the-ball foul in the backcourt. Pero throwing an elbow into the face of the Australian captain. I think it was Brett Maher who copped it. It's a big elbow too. Pero doesn't like the call.
I think Pero felt, hey, look, the guy's hanging on my arm. I'll get him off. And big as Pero is, as strong as is, just flicked him like a flea, didn't he?
Coach Baldwin is looking for a shot clock violation. The referees are conversing. As we have a look at it now.
Oh, there's Pero Cameron boxing out 11 versus 11 at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, there was nothing there. Absolutely nothing there.
I don't know about that one, Ken.
Tony Rampton sits down. Willie Burton checks in number 14. And some good minutes by Rampton. It really is a bonus for the Kiwis, Adrian, when you can give Rampton a break because he is the only legitimate tall man in the New Zealand lineup.
Oh, by all means. I like to think it was like the fouls is actually, like I said, New Zealand early in the game, they had to come out and play smart basketball. And you got to get that out of the big men. And once again, you have that.
I think, and we'll get our stats people to check, but I believe that they have cancelled that call. I have a feeling that Kenny Colson has cancelled that call, and they've gone with the shot clock violation. So New Zealand have possession of the ball. Perro wants to get it to Jones. Double team fades away. You cannot leave the man alone. He is a pure international shooter. He scored 19 on the Dream Team at the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things like right now, these boys are battling. I'm telling you, Phil Jones is feeling it. He gets it inside the post from their triangle offense, steps back and over the top, and it's good for 2 more points.
Yes, at the other end of the floor, Damon Rampton and the crowd thought he had a block. There's Phil Jones. However, they called the foul.
See, I like to see stuff like this. This is one of those things, just like every shot that's going to go up by the Australians, they pretty much going to have to, struggle to get it. Just no easy buckets. These Kiwis are playing their hearts out. They're actually executing on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
Rampton, Perro. Again, Phil Jones in and out. It was a good look, though, by Jones.
Oh, yeah, they're running that triangle offense very well.
McDonald. He's similar to Willie Burton, 37-year-old, playing his first year with the Boomers. And Burton, that's what he's in the team for, to pick up the defensive board.
Oh, yeah, he's a 6'8" guy.
No love there for Damon Rampton. Perhaps felt something on the hand with nothing called. And McDonald just controlling things for the Boomers. Ma. Melmoth. And Matty Nielsen nowhere to go. Good defense by the Kiwis. They can't put that get away. And Brett Maher perhaps starting to get a little bit warm. The Australian captain, as New Zealand calls timeout. It has been successful for them so far, 23-8. And it's been entertaining, as you said, Adrian Boyd. They're just executing. They're doing what they want to do. Let's have a listen to Ted Baldwin.
Phil, get out the floor on the wing. Okay. All right. Let's outlet the ball to Mark. Okay. Get up the floor. Get the wings up the floor. Okay. You get up and let him push it. You be a finisher for him. Let me get it right there. All right. Hey. All right. They're going to be finishers. We still got to know who's now which of you two is running the first move. Okay. Defensively now, I don't want any fall off in our intensity. They're trying to come at us with more defensive pressure. In fifth, we can get our back doors on the baseline and we start flashing. Understand? So let's not stand on offense and wait for something to happen. Feed the ball, move the ball, and get into it. Where's this?
Well, you saw the graphic there. New Zealand shooting a very impressive 55% from the floor. The Australians are down at 10. It is 23-8. And Adrian Boyd, we've got Mark Dickel, Tab Baldwin. Just let him push it up. No one can keep up with him. You guys just get out there and finish.
Oh, ball means Mark Dickel's an excellent ball handler. He's been in the league for years as an excellent ball handler. That's one of his best trademarks. Trust me, it's like even if you put on track shoes and he has a basketball in his hand, you still cannot beat him.
Oh, Burton, again, great work following the shot. And that could be a New Zealand ball. It is, says referee Colson.
Oh, these boys are going after, you know, with every missed shot, they got some people down there struggling to get it. Willie Burton's pretty mad with himself for missing the first shot, but hey, he's there with a hand up to get offensive rebound.
And again, it was pure execution of the offense, wasn't it? Everyone went to the right position. Everything happened what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I noticed that even with Tab Baldwin inside the timeout situation, he just wanted the guys to, hey, look, these guys are going to come at us defensively to try to pick up the game and give us a lot of pressure. I noticed Tab Baldwin talking about, hey, look, to relieve pressure defense, you're going to do a lot of hard backdoor cuts. So I'm expecting inside this offensive trend to do some backdoor cutting by the Kiwis.
Nickel nowhere to go, so they set the offense. Perro, Nielsen marking him.
There's the backdoor. There's the backdoor. That's what I mean. There's the backdoor. That's the execution of Tab Baldwin. Like I say, when he sits back and says, this is what we need to do to get layups, trust me, all the boys have to do is just execute it, and success is beyond their margin. Here's the backdoor cut by Phil Jones, who cut very hard backdoor. Should have easily laid that one in. But when you're shooting as good a free throw percentage as he is, it's like, hey, what's the difference?
New Zealand extend the lead to 17. 25-8. As we again see the Australians, the fast break isn't working for them. They need to run something. McDonald out to Moore. That time they get a nice footwork. The lock pass. Oh, can't save it. It's going to be Australians' ball, says referee Coloco.
That was a really good football pass, like he was in the NFL from Pero Cameron.
I don't think Phil expected he might need to have to run that hard. You see Nielsen. McGregor into the game for the Australians. D-Mac gets a good screen from Nielsen all the way. D-Mac, Darryl McDonald showing his experience.
Yeah, very smooth player. But once again, you got Mark Dickel at the other end. And less than 3 seconds is a layup. That's why we call him the speedster.
Yes, Marky Dickel played his college ball at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. And big raps on him. He led the NCAA in assists in his final year. An injury prevented him from staying in the NBA draft. However, a lot of scouts keeping a look at him. And McDonald, with the shot clock winding down, punishes.
Oh, yeah, that's it. This is the experience of a veteran. He only take wide open shots, good shots, but you got to remember, you got Mark Dickel at the other end. He's going to, trust me, he's going to pay him back in another way.
New Zealand looking to maintain their margin. It is reduced to 12. And referee Webb from Australia is going to give that to the Black Shirts.
24 seconds.
Yeah, 13 remaining on the shot clock. 22 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's been an outstanding quarter of basketball for the Tall Blacks. They need to maintain. Dickel again. And got another whistle. Paul Hanare's in for New Zealand on singlet 7. Dickel again taking it inside. Just didn't quite pick up on who that foul was called on. It was called on McDonald.
I think that was on the dribble. So it seems as though right now, you know, the Tall Blacks are pretty much doing everything according to game. You know, they got the big guys out of foul trouble playing smart basketball. They're pushing the ball right back at these guys. They're playing very sound defense. They got 15 points in a quarter. I mean, you can't ask for anything more. They're shooting 75% from the three-point line, well over 50% from the field. What else can you ask for out of a team?
As we see McGregor put up a bit of a prayer. 3 seconds. Jones goes long. And they called the quarter. They have. That is quarter time. And the Tall Blacks crowd, they're loving it. Some of them are on their feet. The Tall Blacks, you're on New Zealand 28. Lead Australia 15. Historian at home, and you love your basketball. Look up the almanacs and tell us when was the last time the Boomers scored 15 points in an international quarter. It was outstanding by New Zealand. Now, Adrian Boyd, the task is on, and the questions will be asked. Can they maintain their intensity?
That's all it is. You got to remember, basketball goes in corners. Oh, Willie Burton with a big block. Who said the old guy can't jump off his heels again?
Willie Burton. Oh, he thought about the three.
Pass.
Great inside ball to Burton. Damon Rampton, number 15, will go to the line. Of course, we must welcome our viewers through C7 in Australia. And really, it's perhaps something that they're not used to seeing from their national team.
Oh, not at all. I'm pretty sure they're looking at the boys saying, what's wrong? Or maybe they're trying to save it to the fourth. But here in Kiwi land, everything's a tad bit different over here, I tell you.
Phil Jones was the outstanding shooter from the Tall Blacks. He had 11 in that first term. Pero Cameron, the captain, the big man, he hit 2 long-range bombs for his 6 points. And it wasn't until Darryl McDonald, who just fed Saville there, he came on the game halfway through the first quarter, and he settled things down for the Boomers somewhat with 5. Rampton Damon goes for the block. And D-Mac does well to again add to his tally. He now has 7. Dickel, and Henare on the floor at the same time. Well, you can have a look at that, Adrian Boyd. They play your position, the point guard. Looks like Dickel's probably playing it too, is he? Is Rampton with the turnaround.
Oh, yeah. It seems as though he's got pretty much all of his starters, and he's going pretty much his bench players for the second quarter. And I just feel as though with a game like this, you're going to need a lot more to handle with that.
Derek Moore nails the open jumper. 10-point ball game. Boomers coming back. Oh, Damon Rampton, the youngster, he's only not 21. And one, is that the call?
Oh, this is a three-point play. Yes. Opportunity for a three-point play. It's one of those guys, good penetrating move by Mark Dickel. The guy goes up, he misses the first, collects himself, pump fakes, and what do you know, gets somebody in the ear jump right into him.
Derek Moore will come up with that foul. 22 years of age is Damon Rampton. Plays in Nelson, his brother's former team. His brother Tony, who is also on the floor in 12, as we see the box out there by Tony Rampton. He plays at Cairns in the Australian NBL. Nielsen feeds McDonald. Oh, just great ball movement. Great ball movement, and the foul is called late by referee Tony Webb.
Yeah, this is one of those things. I think Tab Baldwin's calling for the 3-second violation inside the lane.
Well, you have a look when McDonald enters the lane. There certainly was great ball movement. You see him penetrate here, and then there's the ball reversal. And was it McGregor with the shot fake? As McDonald had not moved. 37-year-old former New Yorker.
Go there.
Well, his family is safe. He had some trouble getting contact with them, but certainly once he did, found out that they were all safe. So we are thankful for that. Paul Henare feeds Jones. Phil Jones, give it to him all night.
He feels it. All the fans are putting up the 3 sign for Phil Jones. He's feeling it. He's putting his elbow in the air every time he gets it, just about.
14 points for the Mercurial. Phil Jones vouches back into the game. He's working over McGregor. Moore with the fake. Rampton took that, and he gets some love, does Derek Moore.
It's one of those things like right now, I think the boys just need to sit back and actually execute an excellent offense, get things going.
A lot of people have taken it, and you would think the players have taken it the way they are backing themselves tonight.
Oh, by all means. Look at it. We got Willie Burton. He's doing just about everything. This guy's shooting threes, rebounding. What else? What more can he do?
Yeah, comes up with the defensive board to give the Tall Blacks another clean possession. Looking to extend their lead at his 14. 38-24. Boucher. Shot clock winding down in single digits. 5 it is showing now. Henare. Well, perhaps not the best option for the Tall Blacks. If you want some shooters, some range, give it to Jones, and Willie Burton showing that he's got some as well. McGregor looking to set a pick for McDonald. Nielsen. Nice little pull-up jumper from inside the free throw line. Henare just showed some speed.
That's Paul putting on the accelerator. He was struggling earlier this week with an injury to the hand. Now it's like to his knuckle, wasn't it?
He actually dislocated his thumb in practice on Wednesday, and somewhat lucky to be playing as again Rampton takes the fake at Moore, however recovers. Loose pass, McDonald with the save, but you can't give him an open shot. He has shown that. He's hit everything that they have left him alone for. Lead is 11 to New Zealand. It was in the greater Wellington area in 1978. You see Henare come up short. 1978, the last time, the only time the Tall Blacks defeated the Boomers. Jones trying to save, and that is a New Zealand ball.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of a disarray there. Dylan falls to the floor, and the guy tries to step on him a little bit.
The Australians looking to perhaps tough it up. Here we go. Take it, Adrian.
Phil Jones drives to the hole, tries to flip it up to the left hand. Got no respect. Once again, Dylan falls to the floor. This guy just missed the step to the face. Reminds me of old WWF wrestling move there, doesn't it?
Nice work by Matty Nielsen to get in there and make sure that Dylan didn't have a chance to, I suppose, exasperate the situation. He will inbound. It's Judd Flavel.
We don't want that to happen in Wellington.
And a very quick 5-second call by referee Coloco from the Solomon Islands. We'll give the ball to the Australians.
That was very quick. I think he missed number 3 on that one. What do you think?
40-29, New Zealand over the Boomers. It is game 1 of the Burger King Series. Winner moves to Indianapolis in the USA next year for the World Championships. Nielsen, hot prospect from Sydney. Back of the rim. Boucher with the defensive board. Flavel. Hero just stops any movement that Mark thought he had going forward. And Flavel draws the foul and will go to the line.
Well, I kind of like that situation that the Tall Blacks are actually doing. They're actually setting high picks for the guards, and the guards are actually taking the lane and said, hey, look, we're going straight to the basket on this. We got a lot of success on this. A high pick by, I think that was by Dylan. And Judd is like, hey, you got to challenge the ball and go straight to the hoop. You're bound to get a foul.
And I think it's a timeout again called early in the term by the Australian coaching staff. So they're seeing some signs that they don't like Adrian Boyd. They were confident going in. However, as again we said early, there's a vulnerability about this new look lineup.
It's one of those things with the Tall Black situation. They actually need to go out there and prove themselves. And like I said, this is a game of proving themselves. Australia thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and trust me, there's no icing on this cake today.
Keep the tempo up offensively.
Coaching history since retiring from the Boomers as a playing side. He took up a coaching role with the Adelaide 36ers, won a couple of NBL titles straight away. His first assignment with the Boomers, he took the East Asian Games by storm, not dropping a game. A somewhat disappointing Goodwill Games where they finished 4th after 2 losses to Brazil, 1 in pool play, 1 in the semi-final. And really, there is a lot of talk in Australia, Adrian Boyd, about his selections that he hasn't asked Andrew Gay, Shane Hill, those players to come back just to make sure they get past this New Zealand side. And really, people are saying his job is on the line this weekend.
Well, like I say, I think whenever you take a powerhouse team such as Australia, you play against what we consider a lower team as New Zealand, and you do come up with a loss, a lot of questions and a lot of answers must be needed. And like I say, for Australia, like I say, they are the hot favorites here by a long shot according to the Kiwis. But the Kiwis, what they have inside them right now is a lot of hope, a lot of faith, and a lot of determination.
Again, the ball movement from the Aussies are good. That time, Flavel got out on McDonald. And who was that left alone? It was Big Ben Malmuth. And coming over the top was number 14, Derek Moore.
Yeah, I notice like the Boomers, they got a lot of patience for the offense. They move the ball around. Everybody gets a touch. Just for an easy layup underneath with an easy putback.
Phil Jones responds for the Kiwis. Takes his tally to 16. McDonald has 13 for the Boomers. 44-31. We tick over into the second half of the second term. 4:30 remaining in the second term. Double team. Frees up Saville. Oh, no. Great work by Rampton. However, they're just getting far too many open looks. Adrian Boyd, you might want to comment on that momentarily as you see Dickel, Flavel, Jones. Showed in Brisbane he can shoot from there and make that. Terro. Oh, great pass to Flavel.
So that's the backdoor cuts. These guys are coming out playing some pressure defense from the Aussie side. All that the Kiwis are allowed to do is actually do some backdoor cuts with an excellent pass by Pierre Cameron.
And Phil Jones will get called for the foul, stopping the penetration of Saville. Well, every time down the floor when they have to play a half-court game, the Australians are very quick to reverse the ball.
You got to remember, with the Australians, their whole thing is like, hey, look, a lot of ball movement. If if you notice, every time down, it's like it goes from the top to one side of the court to the other side of the court. It allows the defense to adjust and mainly puts a lot of strain and pressure on the defense.
Turnover to New Zealand. Flavel, Dickel. Flavel with the finish. Goaltending.
Oh, that was excellent. Being an ex-point guard such as myself, that is one nightmare. When you got Mark Dickel and Judd Flavel on a 2-on-1 break coming right at you. Look at this. Dickel's better known for all of his assists he's actually doing. Gives it right back to Judd, and once again, goaltending. The Australian found it on the glass.
No foul as Ma hit the floor. Jones with the save, and not even Sparky can get that one. New Zealand have done a great job under pressure. They have stretched the lead again after the Australians got a little bit close early in this turn. It's now back out to 15, 46-31. And Dickel marking his Victoria Titans teammate McDonald. They'll know each other's game so well. They have great respect as we see a good move by Brett Maher, draw some contact. And that will be registered on Judd Flavel.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent matchup when we got Mark Dickel and Durham McDonald playing against each other. A lot of speed, a lot of skills, a lot of experience between the two players and playing definitely at a higher level.
Burton marking Melmoth. Burton got some of the hand, but Melmoth does extremely well. The huge height advantage of the Australians, but you wouldn't know it right now. It is the Tall Blacks. They're still in command by 13, 46-33. Oh, great feed by Dickel.
That's the master hands of Mark Dickel. That's exactly what he gives you. He can basically break down on offense.
Saville uses the screen from Melmoth. He's having a good game, is Ben Melmoth, and Saville's certainly getting on the board. He now has, that's only his second basket. He has 4. Burton. Jones for 3, in and out. No rebounders for the Tall Blacks. They need to just crash the boards. They're shooting at every opportunity, so get inside, big men. McDonald, Dickel watching closely. Burton and Melmoth, great battle. The 39-year-old, the veteran. Melmoth can't sink the turnaround. Perro on the break has runners. And it's a poor pass. Dickel, he's wanted it. He would have released Phil Jones. However, Tad Baldwin says, let's just have a chat. Let's just refocus. It's getting a little bit loose. We're still in control. 48-35, Adrian Boyd.
Hey, ball man, I want to see the Tall Blacks actually get into it. Well, let's get a sound stop defensively and keep things going.
That one possession, we got to know where we're defending in our zones, okay? We were having 2 people chase the ball. That's why they got underneath. We over-rotated, they get a tip in, okay? You got to be really disciplined and composed everything we're playing. We don't have to be over-anxious man or zone. Another thing defensively, when we're off the ball, we're ball watching a little bit. That's why when our man catches the ball, we're not in a good position to defend a one-on-one. We're getting broken down a little bit. Keep a good posture, man and ball, okay? Offensively, I want to go fist now, all right? So let's work them over. We got to get defensive stops right now, okay? Push it up the floor, fist right into the fist on the base, right into it. 1, 2, 3.
Well, both teams have scored 20 points. Interesting observer, New Zealand cricket captain Stephen Fleming, fresh off the plane from Pakistan, where they abandoned the cricket test and one-day tour. Yeah, he'd be enjoying this. 48-35. New Zealand just maintaining in hold mode at the moment. Burton again, Melmoth, Ma, Perro stops him. There's the speed of the quick hands of the Australians. McDonald, Ma. Well, again, it's an open shot, and now they're starting to put them down.
Yes, he's dealing with now the Australians decided to use a lot of exposure. They're just mainly just moving the ball around, not worried about the shot clock, and just like finding the open man each and every time down.
Rotation offenses has worked for both teams. Perro, the stumbles, another loose pass by the captain. Need to rectify that. Again, they just go into Melmoth, and as good a job as Burton is doing, Melmoth is starting to rack them up. He now has 8 points, and the lead is is reduced to 8. McDonald with the steal. Ferro trying to chase fouls. He says, there's no way Arnold's going to catch him, so I'll stop him before the shot goes up.
Yeah, I think that's a very smart move by Ferro Cameron. He knows exactly what 2 points can actually do for them at the moment. This guy pretty much needs to earn it. He knows Mark Dunkley gets ripped clean by D-Mac. A crossover move, and Ferro's like, hey, look, I'm surprised Ferro even caught him that fast.
Oh, the big man can move. There's no doubt about that. And, however, the effect that McDonald has had on this team has been immense. Just slowly they've crawled their way back, almost trouble by Ma. And Rampton will get called for the foul.
Now, this is when the exposure of the teams, especially the Tall Blacks, have to fall into the right thing. But right now, it's like the Tall Blacks, like I said earlier on, they need to play smart basketball and not pick up the little loose fouls.
The Australians haven't panicked to their credit, have they? They were down by as much as 16 at one stage, if I remember rightly, certainly 15 very recently. And now Melmoth cuts it to 7 with 1 to come.
So we got a ball game on our hands. We got a minute and 3 seconds left before the half. And what goes on, I think right now you'll find out what the Tall Blacks are mainly trying to do is spread the floor and mainly use what they call a motion offense. Just get everybody moving, get everybody into it. That's what the Fist defense, the Fist offense is all about. It creates big gaps like that so Mark Dunkley can shine bright.
A steadying basket. New Zealand will certainly get the ball back. And as we see, the need looking for the defensive stop if they can. McDonald. And Burton will get called for the foul, as we saw Daniel Egan perhaps slip with a bit of a fake.
I think that's a really good foul by Willie. You'd say he's one of those guys, he had the quickest hands in the league. I think he has some very quick hands for a big fella.
Yeah, fair enough too. Daniel Egan, youngster with the Melbourne Tigers. And when you play with Andrew Gaze and get coached by Lindsay Gaze, you're certainly going to be a very, very talented youngster. 6-point ball game here in Wellington. The Tall Blacks, they jumped out to an unbelievable lead, and the Australians have just slowly crawled it back. Dickel making sure this will be the final possession. Actually, there's about a 5-second differential between the shot and game clock. So he needs to score. He does!
The guy's super quick. You can't guard him. You can only take a picture of this guy. He's just too quick for everybody.
And McDonald's long-range bomb doesn't convert. New Zealand, they maintain their lead. It's cut to 8, but they are holding on. It is the Tall Blacks 52, Australia 44. For the Tall Blacks, the Australians had to go to their bench. They had to go to Darryl McDonald. They had to go to Melmoth, and really they would be worried as they restart with their starting 5.
Oh yeah, you got to remember, like I say, with the Tall Blacks right now, they're going to see if they can get back on the same game plan, come out and just more or less play some sound defense and just execute.
Ball in the hands of the Boomer captain, Brett Maher from Adelaide. As we said, the only man in this lineup that played in the Sydney Olympics, and he played a total of 3 minutes and was very outspoken about Coach Barry Barnes. And turnover gives New Zealand an early opportunity. Jones doesn't get the one-on-one, so they set the offense. It is the triple post offense used famously by the Chicago Bulls. Rampton Tony, that is. Jones, shot clock hits single digits. Rampton looking to do something, loses the ball, and now it is Saville on the break for the Boomers. Good hustle again by Boucher, stopping that option. Ma nowhere to go. Melmoth has been outstanding for the Boomers. Nielsen, Saville playing in the guard position. Brett Maher, it's getting dangerous.
Oh yeah, like I said, the Tall Blacks need to go exactly what they came out with when they first started the game out. They need to come out and just have exposure.
52-47. The third quarter is one where New Zealand must stamp their authority if they have any remaining from that first half. Another loose pass sees the Australians come up with it. Brett Maher, somewhat quiet. But great work. Oh, Phil Jones got ball, said the referees.
Nothing but cowhide on that one, Phil.
Good outlet pass to Boucher. Perro!
You need the big fella to actually start finishing some of those.
Certainly does. He is key to New Zealand's chances. He has 6 points from the first half, and both of them were very long-range threes. All in and out from... That looked like Egan, I think, a cop one for his trouble from his teammate just running past. And Saville says, "You're right, mate, didn't mean it." Flavel now for the Kiwis. Perro. Perhaps not as slick with the ball movement the New Zealanders compared to their Australian counterparts. Jones. Well, one wouldn't imagine that Dylan Boucher would slide that far without any help from a boomer hand. However, nothing gained, nothing called. Saville baseline, and Jones gets called for the foul.
I think Phil Jones just got the wind knocked out of him and landed on his tailbone there.
Guys.
As you can see, it's a nice little penetrating move. Phil Jones trying to cut off the baseline, and like all defensive players are supposed to do. And once again, guy just runs him right over.
Jones' second foul. So New Zealand got out of that first half without any foul trouble at all. Jones has 2, Boucher 2, Tony Rampton 2. Saville has 2 for the Boomers, and there's a handful of players on 1.
See, Australia's got the ball. They're actually going to try to maneuver the ball around a little bit. You find out they go top to bottom, top to side, inside and back out.
Good no call there as Boucher hit the floor. Melmoth over Rampton. The extra height of Tony Rampton doesn't make it as easy for the big man. And that time bouncing off the bodies, and a nice move off the glass from Ben Melmoth.
Oh yeah, now we got a ball game on our hand. If you can see, the big fella just squeaks right by Dylan Boucher and off the glass for 2.
Yeah, 3-point ball game here in Wellington. Boucher looking for the call. The ball doesn't fall, but will he go to the line? We'll just wait and see, as Tony Webb says yes, he will. So Dylan Boucher plays in Auckland under coach Tab Baldwin. And Baldwin says perhaps there's not enough energy out there. I'm putting Sparky Dickel back in.
Oh, you got to put the speedster in. This guy just runs like he's been on V drink all day and all night.
All inbounded. Oh, yeah.
Dylan Boucher basically needs to bend his knees a little bit more. Get him a nice little follow through. For all you young people out there watching, just remember, free throw and jump shots is the same motion. The elbow in, raise up the elbow, and follow straight through. Once again, you get a switch for 2 points.
Well, 1 from the free throw line. However, 53-49. And New Zealand bench getting a defensive chant going, hoping that the crowd will join in. Nice little sky hook, little baby hook to take it to 2. Matty Nielsen, that was 53-51. And game's just sort of, the Australians are being allowed to do their own thing at the moment. Jones. Oh, again, perhaps there's some glad wrap on that rim as we saw the Australians come out cold in the first half. Now it's affecting New Zealand at that end of the floor.
Oh, yeah, they're struggling with it at the moment. I like to think it's only because I think the main reason why they're actually struggling is because the Australians decided to say, hey, look, now we're going to play a half-court ball game. Beforehand, remember, the Kiwis get a lot of buckets off their transition from a high screen off to the guardsman, and now it's like it's a half-court game. And what the Aussies are doing is more or less are working the ball around and trying to get a nice, easy shot in the inside, or just more or less trying to maneuver a nice 3-point shot.
2 first-year coaches for national programs, and Perro, he'll get the call, he'll get the foul. Tab Baldwin and Phil Smythe, perhaps different ends of the pay scale, one would imagine. However, Tab Baldwin showing he's got the goods so far.
Same hairstyle, just different pace, different strategies. And a lot of people got to remember, Perro Cameron's a big, wide body. Big PC is like, he's such an advantage on a basketball team like you guys would not believe. Even him setting a ball screen is like setting a double pick. This guy's huge. Plus, he's an excellent passer from the outside. He can actually launch the 3-point shot like I've seen any other big man in the league that can actually do.
Certainly impressed at the Goodwill Games. Andrew Gaze was very wholesome in his praise of the big man. He has been New Zealand's best player for a long time. As we see another open shot, that one by McGregor. And you really can't let these Aussies alone. We're tied up at 54. New Zealand need to just recompose themselves, go back to what they did so well in that first term. Shot clock in single digits. Boucher can't go one-on-one with the help from Melmoth. And Jones just inside the arc. That's good.
Oh, yeah, he's the savior at the moment. Now we got a ball game. I think the fans are getting into it a little bit more as the Aussies come back down.
Like one thinks of the Tony Reb, the Australian referee, just said keep playing. Everyone saw a walk, nothing called. And then Melmoth with the turnaround 10-foot jumper is good, ties it up again.
Oh, now they're throwing stuff onto the court. Like I say, down in Wellington, you can't have that. Referees, there's like 3 of them out there. You got to make the calls when they're needed.
Yes, well...
in the wrong country not to make the calls, I tell you.
We are going live to Australia, certainly. And well, if we get a little bit hometownish, it's only because this means so much. There is Phil Smythe, a coach under pressure. There have been not calls for his head, certainly, but publicly questioning of his tactics, of his selections. However, it's starting to work the Australians' way as we see Maher pick up the turnover from Dickel. McDonald into the game. Brett Maher, Dickel marking him. You're not going to get around him, Brett, so he just pulls up and punishes.
Right over the top of Dickel. So like I say, once again, Sparky's coming right back at you for what?
Oh, for a rejected, slapped out of there by Maher, and the Australians have a lead for the first time. Ferro can't convert, and now the momentum has swung here in Wellington. McDonald. Oh, it's going to be a Kiwi ball, says referee Kaloko.
Oh, yeah. So you got to remember, with Daryl McDonald on the court, he has great court vision. This guy's an excellent passer for the Aussie. He creates the tempo that's needed.
58-56, and is Melmoth going to be called for grabbing the arm of Tony Rampton?
Oh, yeah, it's that blind side.
No, it's Brett Maher gets picked up. As I said, it's just there has been a momentum swing here. Showtime, really, the Australians just going into doing what they're starting to control things now, run things at their pace, do what they want to do, whereas before the New Zealanders had it all over them. Boucher didn't want to shoot. He goes to his shooter in Jones, and that's why.
Phil Jones is keying him into the ball game. You can see the rest of the team is actually into it.
Tied ball game at 58, and Perro emphatic with that board.
Now this is Kiwi style of basketball. When you got Mark Dickel pushing the break, you got Perro Cameron, you kick it over to Phil Jones, and you got good for 3 points. Phil is the man. He's sparking it up, I tell you.
Well, we talk about you can't leave the Aussies open. The Aussies can't leave him open, and it's the Kiwis again. They are up by 3.
As long as we can keep the tempo going like this, the Kiwis got their style of basketball that they need. They got Sparky in, they got Perro Cameron getting rebounds and showing his strength.
61-58, and we have another whistle on the play as Matt Nielsen hits the ground.
I think that's the only thing you don't want to do is get Big PC mad and upset.
Perro sits down, Boucher sits down. That's Perro's second foul.
Yeah, go Damon.
Damon Rampton comes in. Judd Flavel comes in. Also Willie Burton comes in. And Burton with the strip, however, it will be a boomer ball.
Oh yeah, Willie Burton, like I say, if it be an old fella, he got some quick hands, I tell you. He's very flexible.
In a legend of New Zealand basketball, 16 years he has been here, and it is his first year in the national side for his adopted country. Oh, Tony Rampton can't handle, and the Australians will get another opportunity.
Yeah, and I see Tab Baldwin, he's more or less working the referees as much as possible, trying to get every call for his tall black team, saying, hey, maybe that was an over back call.
The big body of Scott McGregor will inbound. And if we look at Tab Baldwin there, the New Zealand coach, we have a substitution for the Boomers. Derek Moore comes in for Matty Nielsen. And Tab Baldwin decides we'll have a timeout. And let's just recompose. Let's just have a chat. Let's just get back into what worked so successfully in the first half.
People take initiative away from you, all right? We called for you to go out there and run one with some quickness, and you were walking in mud. You got to move, all right? Now, same thing in fist. That ball's got to move in fist. We can't stand and hold it. People got to work to get open, and when you cut, you got to cut hard. When we go to the rack, you got to go to the rack hard. Understand? We got to get out of this funk and get back to the flow of hard basketball. Both ends of the floor. Get on the damn floor. Guys, after 2 or 3 times, you want to get on the floor and look to run. I got a couple of guys in that kind of run. Take it back. You guys,
Pretty simple instructions, isn't it? Just play hard basketball.
Well, like I say, Tab Baldwin is definitely a motivator. I'll tell you, he can make you just about do anything. He can make Dennis Jones from Burger King walk into Wendy's, I tell you. Tab Baldwin is definitely a motivator.
It's going to be an Australian possession, offensive end of the floor. And the big man gets set. And referee Kenny Coles says, just wait, fellas. We've got a few seconds left. Shot clock says 7 seconds. So it wasn't a change of possession. No, they've reset now to 24.
Well, yeah, I think Tab Ball was working the referee, saying, hey, there's going to be a legal screen coming up. Want my guy to get through for a shot.
They go to Moore. He goes straight out to Ben Knight. McDonald says, give it to me. I'm going to run things. They did it so well. And as we see, Saville, no.
Saville is having a tough time tonight, I tell you. He couldn't throw a rock in the ocean if he was standing in it, I tell you.
Damon Rampton, the youngster. As we see Jones feed Burton. Flavel nowhere to go. No, that's Sparky Dickel. Shot clock crowd telling him, making him aware it's only down to 3 seconds. Needs a bailout. Burton from range. It never looked like going in, did it? And that was, it could be a costly turnover for the Kiwis.
Oh, yeah, some solid defense here would do the trick, because not unless the Australians decide to pull a 3 just to go up by 1.
3 minutes remaining in the third term. It could be crucial. Double team blocks off the penetration of Saville. Kick out McDonald. Thought about the shot. McGregor penetrating. Oh! And the foul will be called. And it was a hard foul too. Tony Rampton will pick that one up.
Now this is if you can see, Australians are more or less being patient, having a lot of composure, moving the ball around. Once you see the seam, go and hit it. And go right to the rack very hard.
Now, the Tall Blacks could find themselves in a spot of bother here, Adrian, as we see Scott McGregor on the line, as Tony Rampton is a 7-footer. He's the only legitimate big man. And the Australians are taking that, and he's sitting down with 3 fouls. And they've gone somewhat small, have the Tall Blacks, so let's see if they can run. Looking to inject some enthusiasm into this lineup. Boucher, Jones. Read that pass so early, did McDonald, and a nice little left hand. Jones did well not to foul. The Australians again for the 2nd time in the match take the lead. Dickel trying to force the issue, and perhaps needed to bail out and just reset. He does. And he's just so quick. They've got plenty of time on the shot clock as he goes back door, bounces straight up.
Oh, yeah, that's a very hard foul for Dylan. He's one of those guys all year long, even playing for Auckland, he always takes the hardest fouls ever. You can see a nice little backdoor cut by Markey. Goes up and under, pass to the open Dylan Boucher. He waits for the contact. And once again, an elbow to the head.
Yeah, Ben Knight was hard with that. Don't want to put any pressure on Dylan Boucher, but there was a beautiful moment in the NBL season here in New Zealand where to win the game and qualify for the semi-finals, he had to make 2 free throws on this very court. On that occasion, he did make both, but not tonight.
As he's one of those guys, you put the pressure in Dylan's hands, and I guess he will always come through.
Great offensive board by Damon Rampton. Jones. Rampton gets another one. looking to go on his own, and the block there by Moore. Forces Rampton to foul.
I like the younger brother of Rampton. He's one of those. He's a great hustler. He's an offensive rebounder. He's definitely a good defensive player. If you can see him there, he decides to, hey, look, I'm going to actually make my own move and create since no one else wants to score for us. And he just unfortunately gets it blocked by the long arm of Australia.
Well, that's the thing. Apart from Phil Jones, it's completely dried up. As the Kiwis have only scored 9 points in this quarter so far, and we're into the final 2 minutes. Oh, great feed there from Saville to McGregor. And Burton thought he was planted. However, he'll pick up the blocking foul.
Ooh, I don't know about that call. I think he was planted. I think Willie was more or less staying there, and I think his feet was more or less grounded on that one. He had to look at the determination like, hey, what do you have to do just to get a nice charge around here? This is the first thing I said from the beginning of the game. The only thing the Tall Blacks really need to do is keep their big guys out of foul trouble. When you get guys like Rampton on the bench and Terrell Cameron and Willie Burton in foul trouble, remember, they can only go smaller. They can't go bigger. That's the one thing everybody predicted from the beginning of the game was like, this is definitely going to be a close game. I'm looking at the fans now, that sellout crowd. Everybody's pretty much at the edge of their seats waiting for something big or spectacular to happen.
Well, the Australians stretch their lead to 3. Compliments of Big McGregor. Canare played limited minutes. Burton. Well, I don't know if that was the option that we wanted, but David Rampton does well.
I mean, that's the workhorse underneath, I tell you. Watch this. You got Willie Burton's launches the deep 3 from the Burger King side, and Rampton goes up with powerful with 2 hands and back up for easy 2.
And another foul call at defensive end of the floor for the Tall Blacks. Send the Australians to the line as they are in the bonus situation. See good feed in there to Ben Knight, and Dylan Boucher gets called coming over for the block.
I think Tab Ball decided to inject Harold Cameron back into the ball game. Hopefully he had a good rest and can carry all the way throughout.
Saw in Brisbane, Adrian Boyd, that the Tall Blacks struggled coming from behind when they were looking to perhaps close the gap to qualify for the Goodwill Games semi-finals. The triangle offense, not really noted, as Andrew Gase pointed out so significantly, as a come-from-behind offense when you just need to play a slow, structured game. And New Zealand are in trouble or in danger of certainly putting themselves in that position.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, with the triangle offense, it's not one of those, it's not a quick-hitter offense. And you got to remember, with the Australians, they sat back and played defense for about every bit of 30 seconds. And that's the only thing that actually struggled against. You know, if you can sit back and play solid defense against that offense, you know, nothing can actually happen. As you got Perro Cameron here, he just maneuvers himself with his big wide body, decided to like take advantage of the situation. You got a little puny guy riding his back. So like I say, Big PC is going to see if he can come through with 2 free throws. A lot of people look at Big Perro Cameron and said, hey, look, he's just a big, wide body. But a lot of people got to remember, he is an asset to any team he's actually on. This is a guy that can actually shoot the threes. He has great court vision. He's a good passer. And by all means, he's definitely a team leader. I know a lot of Kiwis inside the league here definitely would like to play with him on the same team.
Oh, great block there by Rampton. Put that one down as a key stat. Panare on the break. Perro. Jones. He needs some space. Screen from Perro. Frees him up. Oh, it comes up well short. Loose ball. The big man.
Oh, that's the captain. Travel. Oh. That's the Ken. Ooh. I don't know about a call like that. I thought he was more or less diving for a loose ball and decided to give it up. Once again, you know, you got a missed shot by Phil Jones. And you got a hustling Perro Cameron, puts his body on the line for the Kiwis, and I definitely don't see a travel there.
Well, he was sliding, and he certainly didn't have any contact with the ball when he did. However, Kenny Colson called that one from North Harbour.
P.O. Box.
It is the Australians by 1, 66-65. McGregor, McDonald, sure this is the last possession. Pero tying up Knight. McDonald going on his own. Oh, he gets the call. Koloko from the Solomon Islands. The Kiwis bailed him out, and McDonald was under pressure, certainly. It was not a good shot. It didn't fall, and the Kiwis put their arms in, got caught, and certainly didn't help their cause.
Nice penetrating dipsy-do move by D-Mac. And once again, they call it with a pushing foul from Paul Hanari. Like I say, the veteran experience of Daryl McDonald, it comes at the right time. He's one of those guys who's a very sound point guard. He's a good passer more than anything. But like I say, he hurts you in many different ways. He takes advantage of every seam, every gap. And more or less, if you have an excellent hot shooter on your side, he definitely will find the open man.
Takes the lead to 3, 68-65. Plenty of time. Diggle doesn't need to force a Pero on the trail. 3-quarter time. 1-point game. The Boomers 68, Tall Blacks 67.
110% effort. And right now, like I say, it comes down to heart versus composure.
Rampton secures for the Tall Blacks. Dickel. Sparky Dickel goes to Pero. Oh, he just stood in the way of McDonald to free up Dickel. Burton, Pero, Flavel. Good start, New Zealand.
Oh, you're right down the middle of the lane. That's exactly how you want to start a quarter up. It's just an easy layup.
Now the crowd's getting involved. However, more response for the Boomers. Sparky opting to run an offense. Rampton. Pero wanting it on the high post. They go back to Dickel.
They're what we call the triangle offense.
They need to get a shot up as Flavel again forces it. Dickel.
Willie Burton.
Oh, they got to reset. Great work by Rampton. Keeps it alive. Foul!
Yeah. Like I say, this is the heart of the Kiwis. You can hear the fans getting into it. We got a ball game, fellas. The big 7-footers trying to get another offensive rebound. A shot by Willie Burton. Big Tony Rampton's in there. Decides to go up tall. He's 7 foot tall. Throws it off the glass side to go back and gets fouled. Like I said, this is the heart of a Kiwi. This is where all the marbles are at. This is the game that's on the line. They know right now it starts now.
And he got the crowd involved too. Saw his athleticism, and that's why Cairns was so adamant that they'd have him as an import in the Australian NBL. They'd have him as a non-restricted player. They signed him for 3 years, and he ties the ball game up at 70. The big man doing it all on his own. New Tall Blacks, they're without Sean Marks, they're without Kirk Penny. 2 key players. As we see McGregor inside to Marr. Back out, and Burton with the security of his defensive glass. Dickel trying to penetrate. Again, the Aussies get back. Pero spinning, reaching, can't work, and Melmoth secures.
Oh, yeah. Now we got an excellent steal by the Tall Blacks.
That's the hands of Pero. Flavel can't handle the pass, the slickness of Sparky Dickel. But again, they've lifted in intensity. They've come out, they were lackluster in the third showtime. They've come out and they're taking the Boomers on.
I told him, once you get the ball in Mark Dickel's hand, like Tab said, just run the floor, get to your spots.
Brett Marr.
Oh, the 7-footer gets another rebound. Now we get to Judd Flavel as he brings it down the court.
Rampton's 8th rebound. Probably a good even spread, I would guess, too. And again, just Pero was trying to muscle up, wasn't he? And Burton just threw it right away. Just compose yourselves, New Zealand. I know this group has never been in this position, but believe in yourselves and it may happen for you. Just do what you did in the first term. Australians now playing some structure. Good defense there by Rampton. However, I think you'll find that Melmoth was better. Big man from the Sydney Kings. Flavel. Anything happening with Burton? He goes and muscles up. Again, the shot clock winding down, putting the Tall Blacks under pressure. Ball in the hands of the man who should have it. Dickel comes up short. Oh, and that's a foul against Brett Mark.
There we go. The excellent job by Judd Flower to actually decide to go in for an offensive rebound instead of getting back. You see Mark Dickler takes the long three-point shot. And Judd just gets a nice little shift by Brock.
I think his teammates were looking for Dickler to perhaps penetrate one-on-one. Run around to Jones, wanted to shoot it, takes it inside off the glass. It's good, we're tied again at 72.
This is definitely a Phil Jones night. I'm telling you what, he has 25 points. He's more or less telling him, hey, Tall Blacks, grab a saddle, and you guys can just ride on my back all the way to the end.
Well, the Adelaide 36 is coached by Phil Smythe. They had a good look at Jones at the Olympics, decided not to go with him. He's putting on a show now as they go to Melbourne. He's been rock solid all night. Shot clock, he needs to get it up. Again, the turnaround, Jones.
Oh, not Phil Jones again. He's doing everything.
Level for three, again comes up short. They're not perhaps taking the best options of the Tall Blacks, but they're certainly getting some good looks. McDonald slowing it down for the Boomers.
Once again, this is Australians' game plan. They need to slow it down, work the ball around, let everybody get a nice touch on the basketball, and take advantage of the situation of an easy gap or an open shot.
Well, the big men can all shoot, and that one will be called on Pero, I feel. Yes, it is.
Yeah, he just dipped the shoulder in the guy and said, hey, look, you're not going around me. This is Pero Cameron. Got caught. Decided to just throw him in there, throw him a shoulder.
Pero's third foul.
Because a lot of people actually look at Pero Cameron. Ooh. Nice little baseline jump shot.
Yeah, Brett Mark doing it. He now has 12 points. Burton close up, Jones needs to get free. Oh, thought he might have pulled up, and McDonald gets caught reaching in. That's his third Australian team foul for the term. Two more, and they will put the Kiwis in the bonus. 72-74. Just under 6 minutes remaining. It's been a sterling effort by New Zealand. They now know they're good enough as we see Dickle taking it off. Burton and McDonald with the strip. Was out of court when he touched it. 18 seconds on the shot clock for New Zealand. They trail by 2. Burton, Pero, Flavel, Jones. Oh, several shots coming up short now. Do we have the legs? Oh, Burton to Pero. Tied at 74.
That's what we need, I'm telling you. Every loose ball, every scrap they can get a hold of, they need it.
5.5 remaining in the game. McGregor, he's been solid. Saville, again the crowd getting involved. Pero secures. Sparky on the break. This is where he's at his best.
Now when you get Sparky on a fast break like you got there, he'll hit any seam you got.
Decides to opt out. Flavel has a look at the shot clock, sees 12. Pero, again, just in front of the iron, all from just outside the arc. And Melmoth cops one from Willie Burton.
And Willie with his fast hands trying to go for a scrape of the ball and wind up scraping the face. Here it is here. Pero coming with a long three, hits the front of the iron. Nice rebound there, Willie Burton. Decides to go for the swipe of the ball. Accidentally, I think that is.
You can see that one in the wrestling ring, wouldn't you? Freddie, the Freedom Air mascot, perhaps rubbing it into Big Ben Melmoth. We're tied at 74. It's been oh so long since New Zealand's been oh so close. McGregor from range. New Zealand need to recover. They do by Boucher.
There we go. Now, like the heart of the Kiwis have to shine on. They need to come down and actually execute something.
Oh, great pass by Pero to Boucher.
Oh, yeah.
Tall Blacks back in front.
Now we got a bucket with our hands. Dylan Boucher. I'd say he's a squeaky player, but he'll definitely get the job done.
Level reached in, no call. Pero with the push. Melmoth was excellent. going to be called. It is. It's on Tony Rampton.
Ooh, I don't know. A call like that.
Referee Webb is finding out whether it's subs or whether it's timeout. Tony Webb having a check to Tad Baldwin. It does appear we've got timeout here in the final term. The Kiwis 76 over the Aussies 74.
Post to post, switch. Everything else is court to get through. Whoever's guarding the inbounder takes the underneath, takes the basket. Okay? Next offensive possession, one time, quick, right? Really get your touch quick. Make them bump you, right? 1 minute, get a stop.
Get it stopped. Get it stopped is the instructions from Tad Baldwin. Looking to mix up the defense, wanting to start switching on screens showtime. Something they haven't done as yet. Just mix it up, change the game. Let's get some very quick offense to a couple of possessions. And let's just make these Australians work and think.
That's all it is. I think Tab just wanted those strings. You got to beat us. Like you got to use smartness to beat us, actually. And if you can see from that, what do you get? You get a turnover. Once again, according to Tab, all they got what they wanted. A definite stop, not a yield sign. They got a stop on that one.
Well, he has proven himself time and time again as the coach of champions, has Tad Baldwin. And he could have a new batch with him tonight. Perro, Rampton, getting worked over by Melmoth. Jones comes out with the help. Perro wanted a call. Melmoth, loose ball. New Zealand ball. Jones looking to reset. He does. Two-man game with Perro. Jones.
He's the Superman in this league, baby. I'm telling you. He's done everything. That's Phil Jones. Potential three-point play. What did he do? Went to the basket very hard. Phil Jones has done everything but sell popcorn at the front door. Look at this. He sits back. He puts it on the floor between two defenders off the sweet glass that it is and into the basket. Phil Jones is a hero at the moment.
27 points, and he has one shot to come from the free throw line.
I'm telling you, he done everything. And I think I gave him my parking ticket when I had to park this morning. I'm telling you, he was outside parking the cars. He was mopping the floor before the game. Now he's in here. He's our Superman tonight, I tell you. For three-point play.
Kiwis by 5. 79-74.
Now it deals with composure. It deals with heart.
Now listen to that crowd. Melbourne. Boucher will get called. Well before the block. And now, Adrian, we look like we could have a spot of bother. Boucher has 4 fouls. Tony Rampton has 4 fouls. Perro Cameron 3. Willie Burton 3.
Uh-oh. And we got 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in the ball game.
Judd Flavel has perhaps made a mistake that he will never make again.
Oh, yeah, he flattened the guy, I tell you. Like Judd, holy Toledo, it looked like a martial arts move. But look at this. D-Mac penetrates, kicks it off to a wide open 3, and just hammers him.
Sure, get a hand in his face, but if one thing that these Australians know how to do, they know how to draw some contact. And Ma lines up for 3 shots.
They said the Kiwis need to sit back and...
Crowd tells you the verdict. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad in some circles. Cuts the Tall Blacks lead to 3. Boucher, Perro. Oh, Phil Jones is open. Needs some help, does Perro. Shot clock's in single figures. He's inside. Contact.
There we go. Big Perro Cameron showing strength. Holy Toledo just drags the poor guy up with him. Watch this. Big PC between the legs. Like, all right, fella, you're going to move because that's somewhere I need to go. And once again, put him up like a packed sandwich inside of his lunchbox. He just puts him right in his hand and just goes to work. Oh, yeah. It's sweet when you follow through. That's why I tell all the young kids out there watching basketball today, remember, your free throws, your jump shots, everything, the same motion. Elbows in, get it up, and follow through. Sweet. Big PC puts the boys up 81-76 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the fourth.
McDonald trying to spark something, and that will count. 81-78. We click over into the final 3 minutes. Flavel wants to go to his Nelson teammate in Jones. He has it now. Burton's on the post. Jones baseline. No love. Saved by Boucher. Again, Jones on his own. Perro. Oh, off the last touch of Phil Jones, says Tony Webb.
Well, Perro Cameron would have nailed that. We'd have had a different ball game on our hands, I tell you. Even though the Kiwis are still up, now's the time they need to sit back and hold their composure.
Well, that's the first time McDonald's missed from that position. And Flavel running the floor. Jones. Boucher at the top. Perro. Oh, nice. Give it go. Well, Tony Webb's coming up with all the calls at the moment as he picks up the progress there by Boucher.
I don't know. Where is he from? I tell you, I didn't think that was a try. That was a nice little flick pass to a cutting. Perro Cameron. I don't know about that one.
Well, judgment call. And Dillon looks a little bit bewildered. Didn't argue, though.
I don't know. If he traveled on that one, he definitely did not go that Air New Zealand, I tell you. He didn't travel, I'm telling you.
No one's going in New Zealand at the moment, mate. 81-78, time out on the floor. Australian coaching staff, Phil Smythe, Gordy McLeod, and Steve Reaney having a conference. Composed was Phil Smythe as his team trails by 3, 81-78.
So according to basketball time, it's plenty of time left in the basketball game. Anything can actually happen. I'm just waiting for Phil Jones to put... Now the defense that they're actually doing is called, it's like a little triangle defense if you can find what the Tall Blacks are doing. It's not like a man-to-man, it just creates a lot of havoc and a lot of problems.
Jones almost comes up with the steal. Boucher reaches. Melmoth has been deadly from there. Pressure on the Australians' offense now. And it's a New Zealand ball.
Oh, yeah.
Another turnover that they needed.
That's all they needed was them to take a lot of time off the clock and miss the shot. Now I think they want to widen up the floor, take advantage of the gaps, the one-on-one situations from the point guards.
Boucher. Perro. Jones. Good movement by the Tall Blacks. One-on-one Jones. Perro. Oh, no call.
Oh, no.
McDonald on the break. Australia is dangerous. A call. Loose ball secured by Nielsen. Again, the Australians have another opportunity. Will they look to tie it up? Plenty of time. Mark goes inside. McDonald. Nielsen for 3. Too many opportunities for the Boomers. Mark, McDonald.
Here we go.
It's following New Zealand's way.
There's my Tall Blacks. You're coming to win tonight, I tell you.
3-point ball game. The final minute. New Zealand need to stop. Australia looking to tie it up with Mark. Comes up. Short. And it's a foul. Foul again. The All Blacks are doing it. Referee Koloko is signalling 2 shots.
Oh, my goodness. Look at the crowd. They're going berserk. Only in Wellington. Listen to these guys. I don't know. I think they'd open up a whole can out here, Dean Page. The Tall Blacks have opened up the can, I tell you.
Well, not yet. There is 37 seconds. Tony Rampton needs these, and then they need to extend the defense, not allow an easy 3-point shot.
I smell an upset, Dean.
Boucher it is at the line, not Rampton. Timeout called by Phil Smythe as Tab Baldwin chats with Tony Webb.
Oh, they open up a whole can here today. You got the crowd behind you. You got the players pumping their fists. You got the Freedom Airman in the middle of the court. What else can you ask for down in Wellington?
Well, if we remember back to 78, it was the Kiwis that stole it. We cannot put ourselves in the position to let the Australians steal it, Adrian Boyd.
Well, if it's 78 and 2001 has anything to do with the same thing, I think it's going to be an upset on the court tonight. The fans will just go berserk down here. Look at it. We got Kiwi pride everywhere. Look at this. The flags are going. People are almost standing up and dancing. I think we should get a parade here. I think it might be a parade tomorrow. I'll tell you. Look at the guys.
Well, it is only game 1 of a 3-game series. You need to win 2 to move to Indy. And never before, Adrian Boyd, has the New Zealand team done that over Australia.
Like I say, if we can get the love that's showing down here in Wellington, we can get that tomorrow night definitely down in the Waikato area. I think the Kiwis will definitely have another win on their side. 36.5 seconds left remaining in the game. And once again, the Tall Blacks, the Kiwis are up 81-78. And we got my main man, Dylan Boucher's on the line shooting 2. If he sinks 1, Dean, it's a different ball game, buddy. If he just sinks 1 of these. Dylan's been struggling all night from the free throw line. Will and everything. The boys are pointing a fist into the air. It's unbelievable.
Tab Baldwin says that is smart. That is playing with your head.
I may have to go put on my dancing shoes, Dean. It's over with. Wellington is going to party tonight, I tell you.
Trying to save his Australians. New Zealand ball. Australia need to foul. They do. And Sparky Dickel goes to the line.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. Just listen.
Mark Dickel misses the first.
Still need to maintain composure. 2 quick shots from Australia can change things very, very easily.
It's not enough. I tell you, Dean, it's not enough. There's no fuel in the gas tank anymore.
Sabo, there it is.
There's no fuel in the gas tank.
Canaro,
run it down. History has repeated itself in Wellington.
3,
After 23 years, the Kiwis are back. The Kiwis are back.
What more can you ask for? Look at the Kiwi fans, the fists in the air. Everybody's happy. Oh, I'm going to put on my dancing shoes, Dean. Look at this.
History has repeated here in Wellington. New Zealand have had perhaps an even greater win than 1978. They defeated Australia. It is the Tall Blacks 85, the Boomers 78. Game 1, World Championship qualifiers.
New Dolmio stirring.
Memorable scenes here in the Queen's Wharf Event Centre in Wellington. It has been a long time coming. However, the Tall Blacks have won the second game ever over the Boomers, and it was a game full of pressure. Phil Jones, the absolute standout for the Tall Blacks, 28 points. Pero Cameron, after a short time, a quiet time early, he came back strongly with 15. Sparky Dickel, we talked about him with 10 points. McDonald was prominent for Australia. And then we have, of course, with the assist, McDonald again up there for the Boomers. Dickel 4, Cameron gets a mention everywhere. A couple of Dylan Bouchers were sensational. The rebounding duel, well, New Zealand should just not be dominating by that much. Rampton with 10, Boucher 9, Cameron 7. John McBeth has the man of the moment, the master coach, the absolute genius, Tab Baldwin.
Tab, you're looking a little bit stunned after all that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it is history making, but we just had a quick meeting in the locker room, and that's only one. We're here to get 2. We believed we could get it, and the job's not done, John.
You led for all but a brief spell in that game. Your start was absolutely blistering, and that was the way you planned it.
It was. We wanted to come at them really hard, and we were able to do that. And then we tailed off a bit, and, you know, full credit to the Australians. They're very good, and they came back at us very hard, and we had to dig in. That third quarter was certainly a real flat start, and we had to regroup from that. But we got a good spark off the bench from, you know, Mark Dickel, and Dylan Boucher played excellent, and I think Pero Cameron did the job that we all expect him to do.
I think you're right to be cautious, Tab, because that Australian side did show enough to suggest that they will never be easy beats. This is 1 down, 2 to go. Good luck.
I've never seen an Australian team quit before. We don't expect it, but I guarantee you we won't either.
Okay, well, that's good, Tab. All the best for Hamilton tomorrow.
Thanks, John.
Well, Adrian Boyd, Tab Baldwin mentioned the slow start where New Zealand got up by 16 at one stage. They showed their class in the third term really to come back, but it was high pressure and hard work, just hustle basketball from the Tall Blacks.
Oh, you got to remember, with the Tall Blacks, when they first said they wanted to come out, I think that the Kiwis sat back and thought like, hey, look, you know, let's go out there, let's give them everything we got. We have nothing else to lose. We got our pride on the line. We got our country and our heart behind us. And they went out there and proved it earlier on into the ball game.
Let's hear from the Australian captain, Brett Maher.
Brett, New Zealand had a sensational start. Australia did extremely well to come back and take the lead. And, you know, it was there for the taking right up until the last minute, I suppose.
In international basketball, you can't afford to give a team that much of a lead. We probably spent too much petrol tickets getting the lead back, and just trying to stay with them was hard work down the stretch, so they played well.
Yeah, it was difficult, wasn't it? What, you were down by 17 at one stage?
Yeah, they couldn't miss in that first quarter. We knew they'd come out hard, but we weren't quite prepared ourselves, obviously, to take that onslaught.
Yeah, Tab Baldwin, the New Zealand coach, has already said to his team, that's only one. These Australians are too good. They're going to come back at us as you did tonight. You proved you've got plenty there.
Yeah, it's a best of 3. Obviously, we're very disappointed to lose to New Zealand, and we'll come out pretty hard the next 2 games.
Okay, Brett, thanks very much and good luck for the next 2 games.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, that's Brett Mayer, who's the captain of the Australian team tonight. Not good enough. New Zealand getting their second. The Australians will know what to expect this time.
Well, they think they do. And Tab Baldwin is nothing if he's not crafty. We haven't seen the total hand yet from the Kiwis. I think that they'll change a few defensive sets to try and confuse the Australians. Offensively, let's go inside. Let's go to Pero Cameron and Tony Rampton and surprise the Australians by taking them on at their own game.
Well, I like the sound of that. But Showtime, the Aussies started poorly. Surely they won't do the same again. Will they start with a different lineup?
I would think they would have to start with a different lineup. The main reason why I say that, because in the first game, you had the likes of Mark Vickles, his quickness, Paul Hanari, and Judd Plavo. Those guys were actually going to the rack. And I think Australians need to actually match that intensity level and actually match the speed.
In your heart, 2 from 2 tonight?
By all means necessary. We got to go with the Tall Blacks.
Absolutely. It's Showtime Boyd and Dean Page. So it's a big night for the Tall Blacks. A very difficult effort for them, a massive task in front of them, but marvellous reward at the end of it all. What do they need to do tonight? Here's Pero Cameron.
We've got to stop Mar from getting the ball and shooting it where he wants to. I thought most of the time our guards did a good job. Juddy and Sparky just did really well on him. But I think we lapsed a little on D-Mac, the American point guard, who was just phenomenal, just tearing us apart at times. And need that intensity that Dylan Boucher brought. You know, he's just incredible. And we need that for the whole game, 40 minutes.
Can you keep a lid on this?
We will, mate. We will. We'll let it all out if it happens.
Everyone's on edge as they wait for this game to start in Hamilton. The national anthems will be sung tonight by Rachel Pepperell and Ronnie Phillips.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthems.
The two teams now have the 5-minute warm-up, and tip-off will happen right after that. for the crowd before the game. They'll also likely get fireworks during the match from the players. Match 2 of the Burger King World Championship qualifying series in Hamilton. Now, with the 2 lineups, here's our caller, Dean Page.
Thanks very much, John. Well, after a great start last night in Wellington, the Kiwis, the Tall Blacks, are gone with the same starters: Flavel, Jones, Boucher, Cameron and Tony Rampton. Coming off the bench, the electrifying Mark Dickel, Paul Hanare, Brendan Kathy-Pongia, Big Willie Burton and the younger Rampton Damon. The Australians are feeling the pressure. They had a very energetic workout this morning. They're gone with Brett Maher, Daniel Egan. Daryl McDonald comes into the lineup with Matty Nielsen and Big Ben Melmoth, who was penetrating last night. Off the bench, Big Scott McGregor, Glenn Seville, Axel Dench didn't get a run last night. Derek Moore and Ben Knight, big things expected from them. Well, as I said, the Australians are under pressure. The game for them tonight is...
I mean, this game is so crucial because once if they decide to go back on this game or lose this game, tomorrow's game means so much more pressure.
Never before has there been an opportunity like this for New Zealand. As I said, you can see the faces now pensive from Australia. They are under a lot of fire. For the haka from New Zealand last night, it was passionate. You can expect some more of the same tonight.
Okay, Helen Boucher. Good hand for number 11, Pierre Cameron. And number 12, Tony Rampton. Get up for the New Zealand All Blacks. We also have referees Ken Coulson from North Harbour, Tony Webb from Australia, and Goldman Kiloko from Solomon Islands.
The back of your neck stand up. That one, we thought last night was feeling showtime. That one, that was a challenge. That was a war cry. That was saying, we're coming to get you.
Oh, yeah, you can see that within the eyes of all the Kiwis. The aggression was definitely there. And all they have to do is come out tonight and just hold that aggression. They need to bring out the haka and just bring it all the way straight out to the court.
Right now. Defense, guys. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Right here, right now.
Making them play from the 3-point line over an aggressive. Go.
Reputations are more than on the line here. Spots on the Boomers roster. If you want to be known as a Boomer, you bring your game tonight.
Well, by all means. The way I look at things tonight, I think the Australians can actually try to do a half-court game just to see if they can slow down the speed of the likeness of all the point guards that the Tall Blacks actually brought out.
Referees are the same from last night. Tony Webb from Australia with the ball in hand. Over there by the bench is Kenny Colson, Australian-born New Zealander, proud to say he's from North Harbour. And the third man from the Solomon Islands, Golden Koloko. Game 2, Burger King series underway. And McDonald, they want a great start from him. All more of the same. There's Melbourne, and Perro is it will get called for the reach-in. No, they go on Dylan Boucher for New Zealand.
It's one of those things right there. Dylan Boucher decided to get a nice little hand in there. Thought he was going straight up for the strip. Wasn't on.
Ben Melmoth did a great job last night. in the boards for Australia. Demonstrated a nice turnaround jumper from the low post. And the Australians are certainly deadly from that position. They missed one shot from the free throw line last night. And you can already see a far higher intensity in the work ethic of the Boomers as Pero goes inside and draws the contact.
That's the only thing they need from Big Pero Cameron. They need for that guy to sit back and want to score. You got to remember, Pero's one of those guys, like, whatever he put his mind set to do, he just does it. Here it is here. He just decided to go to the hoop. Very strong and aggressive. Remember, that is a very strong guy coming your way. The guys can't do nothing to get out the way. As he shoots two, makes the first.
Very friendly rims here at Mystery Creek in Hamilton. Probably the best shooters rims in the country here, Adrian Boyd, and that will also enhance the Australians' prospects.
Well, yeah, you got to remember, all good shooters come to this gym, and trust me, they shoot the three with ease at this gym.
Darryl McDonald, he came into the game halfway through the first term last night and really slowly crawled Australia back. Pero with the first defensive board. And a loose pass, well recovered there by Boucher. And New Zealand just go into their set, wanting to work the post. Flavel. Short, another possession for the Kiwis. Good work by Pero. Boucher. Ball movement is a key. Jones. Well, he needs to just find his range. They're going to mark him closely. Had a big game with 28 points last night, Phil Jones. As we see some more poor shooting, that time by Egan. McDonald.
McDonald for three.
Only missed one of those attempts last night. And already, we talked about the work ethic of the Australians on the defensive end. Lob to Rampton, no good with the extra height from the Australians. However, it will be a tall black ball at the offensive end of the floor. Showtime 1 already feels that more of a chess game is developing here as we see Jones spot up. Boucher can't get the tech. Rampton.
That's the only thing we actually need. We need the guys to sit back and go after the offensive rebounds. Because right now you find out the Australians, they want to play a half-court game. They want to move the ball so everybody gets to feel a lot of movement. And the Kiwis are actually trying to match that aggression.
From one end of the floor to the other, one side, you see a lovely spinning move by Matty Nelson from the Sydney Kings. Very big athletic prospect. Pero on the trail. Flavel off the screen from Boucher and also Tony Rampton in there. Back to Pero. Need to get the ball inside the Tall Blacks. Shot clock winding down. Oh, lovely assist from Flavel to Boucher.
I think that's the only thing that Judd goes right down the middle. Dishes off to Dylan Boucher. And he goes in for two.
Tight, tense battle. None of the early run from the Tall Blacks that they got out to in game 1. McDonald, he wants game on. That's what he's looking for. Good work by Rampton. Flavel receives, former Nelson teammates. And that will be a turnover. It's perhaps going a little bit too quick there, Judd Flavel.
See, Judd was a little bit out of control there. Ball's flat on his face. And now Australians basketball, they're trying to actually look for inside games, get layups now.
Yeah, Egan. Oh, great offensive work, Daniel Egan. Plays his basketball in Melbourne with the Tigers. Stands just under 200 centimetres. Or 6'7" in the old money. And already you can see the Tall Blacks with a couple of early turnovers. Pero gets around Nielsen. Oh, sorry, I should reverse that. Nielsen gets around Pero, and Pero gets called for the foul, pushing away, trying to stop the athletic youngster.
The other thing that's actually happening at the moment is you find out Perro just decides not to move his feet, decides to give the guy a little shove, gets called for the foul.
Again, they go inside using the height of Melmoth. Egan tries with the tip. Now Dickel comes into the game. This is why I want the spark. Flavel, Jones. Again, not falling for Phil Jones. Dickel has come in for Judd Flavel to get the Tall Blacks some enthusiasm, some energy. Melmoth and Rampton, great battle last night. There's the move by Melmoth, and Rampton says that he generated that contact, he initiated, but Tony, they've called the foul on you.
Oh yeah, like you remember Tony, he's a big 7-footer. It's hard to shoot over a 7-footer when he puts his hands up. And what you can see it right here, decide to square the guy up. Once again, this guy decided to do his own offensive move. Tony thought, hey, look, wasn't a foul. There's no contact there. Just put his hands straight up, just shot right into his hands.
Again, the perfect double from the free throw line by the Boomers. New Zealand just can't afford to put them in that position. They're out by 5. Already it is a vastly different game. Rampton, and draws a block from Melmoth that time. Nice move by Tony Rampton.
It seems as though right now, the only reason why things seem to be going in the favor of the Australians is due to the fact that they're playing their game. The Kiwi game is more or less, hey, look, let's see if we get a lot of points off transition. Let's see if we can get some easy baskets. And right now, the Australians are making them play a half-court game, and at the moment, the Tall Blacks are struggling with it.
Oh, loose pass by Perro, recovered by Jones. Needs to get one to fall, and then he might be okay. That's 3 misses from Phil Jones. And referee Tony Webb says Rampton was out of court.
But you got to enjoy the hustle by the big man. A big 7-footer running out of bounds to save a ball. Hey, he's coming your way.
Australians take the opportunity to make a couple of substitutions. Axel Dench steps onto the floor for the first time. Certainly spoke with Andrew Gaze earlier on today, and he was querying as to why Axel Dench did not play at all last night. It was the coach's decision. Big send-up from the Wollongong Hawks, NBL Rookie of the Year. Has been working in the NBA as well. And referee Koloko gets him for the push.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what we need. See, now we're getting a little bit of that Kiwi spirit back in us. We're getting the fans into the game. You can see here, there's an off shot, comes out the other side of the rim, gave a nice little push to big Tony Rampton. And the referees were there like the spot police and called the call.
One thing we didn't mention last night, Adrian, is the 3 referees officiating in the series, because New Zealand doesn't have it in their local league. Australia certainly does. And that could be an advantage. You see a nice penetration there by Dickel. Unfortunately, didn't make the layup, as we'll just see here. Gets around McDonald easily, and McGregor, and also Egan. And the ball didn't fall, and the foul was called way before the shot. Sparky Dickel, UNLV point guard, NCAA assist leader, and they're giving that one back to the Tall Blacks.
Oh yeah, Ken Colson with the call.
And well, a couple of referees have a chat, and Kenny Colson says no worries, we'll give it to Australia. Tab Baldwin in the background was calling for the foul.
Yeah, I think that's one of the advantages of having the 3 referees out there. Because the 2 referees, maybe one didn't see it, but the third, hey, should be able to see the game a lot better.
Nielsen left alone. McGregor tips it over the back, and you can see the speed and quickness of hand of Dickel. Looking to get something happening. Inside to Rampton, all over him. Perro thought about the 3. Dickel inside, and Boucher again just camped in the bottom of the floor. Picks up another basket, and New Zealand are within 3.
Yeah, this is New Zealand style of basketball. Run and gun, mainly all their points off transition.
Well, nowhere to go with Perro in the way. Oh, but they're just leaving him open. Dench in and out. Great work by Ma to read that one. And all of a sudden, things not falling for the Aussies. Dickel looking to again exploit his slower opponents. Rampton with the low post. Nice move.
Oh, yeah. They're feeling it now. They're on a roll. Got to look here. Big Tony Ramp decides to post up the little fella, and right over the top, the 7-footer gets an easy 2.
Floor technician's going to work, and Tab Baldwin takes the opportunity to run a couple of changes. Jones sits down. Willie Burton comes in for Pero. Brendan Kathipongia is on the floor for his first time in the series, wearing singlet 9. Axel Dench just runs straight and takes Pongia out there. Glenn Saville was prominent early last night. Good ball movement. Back to McGregor from Nielsen. And again, Saville just with the hands in the back. Frees himself up over the top of Pongia. Nielsen. McGregor. Good hustle defense. Shuts down some options for the Australians. Boucher gets in the way of McGregor. Nielsen backdoor. Nice read by McGregor. Good movement from the Australians. And just look at the speed of Dickel. Rampton hard. Must be hammered. His arms weren't up straight. He just let far too much go. You're right there, referees. You call it.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely letting things go. Oh, that looked like a... But once again, now we got an easy foul.
Yeah, good call, referee Coloco, because that was absolute mayhem at the New Zealand end of the floor. Rampton was murdered. He was harassed. As we have a look here on the replay, you see Dickel go inside. Ball unlucky not to fall. There's a foul there. That's 1. There's another one. That's 2. And nothing was called.
Now we got easy free throws coming through for Dylan Boucher. Last night he was one of the guys that was doing the clutch free throws. Now today he should be a lot better. Refresh Dylan Boucher shooting 2.
Well, there's no such thing as an easy free throw until they're into the basket, Adrian Boyd, as you well know. And Ben Knight comes into the game for the Boomers. That's why, mate, the commentators curse.
He'll get this one. Good old. And it's good. There we go. And right now you can see the Kiwis are actually changing up their defense. They're changing up defensive strategy. They got out of their man-to-man. Now they're in what I call a 3-2 zone.
Well, the Australians are deadly from range. You see Saville put up the shot. And Boucher. Great work, Dylan Boucher. He made this team as a replacement when Sean Marks withdrew from the Goodwill Games. As we see Dickel tie out at 13, and now he's earned a starting spot, Dylan Boucher.
Here we go. We got the Australians are trying to get a couple good shots in, get a couple good looks.
Burton just couldn't reach Maher inside, and Rampton couldn't do anything but put his long arms in the air, and Brett Maher went around him, the Australian captain. Kathipongia. Boucher. Burton one to the top. They go back to Dickel. And is that an offensive foul?
On Tony Rampton, I think it is. Down low with the hands out push.
Foul on right foot, Tony Rampton.
Rampton's second foul, so he will sit down. Younger brother Damon comes in for him.
I think that's the only thing that the Kiwis need to do is like stay within their strategy, stay within their means. They got the same personnel as game 1, whereas like the big fellas cannot afford to get those easy fouls early in the game.
Yes, we certainly have a higher rotation of guards for New Zealand. Willie Burton, Dickel. Using that speed, however, just sometimes he is too fast for himself, for his own good, and a classic example there.
Here we go, just a nice little slip and fall there for him.
And perhaps the floor technician didn't do such a hot job when he was out wiping the floor before. Great help defense by Damon. Rampton forces the turnover. Intercept by Burton. And Dickel just calming things down this time. Kathipongia. Burton gives it to Boucher. Plays a lot bigger than what he is. That's just pure hustle by Damon Rampton, and now the foul is called.
He's He's been doing it all night, even yesterday. He's the guy to give you that nice little spark off the bench, and he's playing a little bit big for himself. Dylan Boucher goes to the hoop, little dipsy dude move, didn't go, and what do you know, another Rampton. He gets a rebound, goes up strong, and he will shoot too.
Timeout on the floor. The score here at Mystery Creek is 13-16 in favor of the Boomers. And let's go into the New Zealand huddle and have a listen to head coach Tab Baldwin.
I'll tell you what the problem is, though, is those damn defensive boards. All right? Now, a couple of times balls been shot. We got people releasing to outlet or secondary positions, and we ain't got the ball. Everybody's got to get in there. Everybody's got to chase it. What's that? You have to go to the elbows. We all got to box our man. We got to box our man. All right? You got to get physical when you box your man. That ball hits the rim, you go get it. All right? That's where this game is right now. It's on their offensive board. It's someplace else. All right, let's go 2 for the rest of the quarter, defensively, 2, and let's go 1 on offense, okay? Let's start hitting them with some quick passes, quick cuts, okay?
On 2, if they got 2 high posts and 2 corners, where do you want the wings? Down corners or on the high posts?
Wings take the high post,
okay?
All right?
Shooters down corners.
So your forwards got to go to those shooters in the corner, okay? Get there, let's go.
Defense, 1, 2, 3,
defense. Let's go, guys.
Well, you can see what they're talking about. Judd Flavel there was talking about getting out on the shooters. The three-point shots haven't fallen for Australia. They've 1 from 7, and New Zealand have only put up 2 and have been unsuccessful both times as well.
You can see that both teams are actually trying to actually attack the basket. They actually don't want to live and die for the outside shot. And right now, you may see Mr. Baldwin, and they may decide to go back to another zone for the Tall Blacks. And tell everybody, hey, look, if there's a shooter about to shoot the ball, you need to run out and put your hands up and be ready for it. And once again, they're back inside of the 3-2 zone. We call it like a little point drop zone. Hopefully, you can get a nice little outside shot for the Aussies. They're trying to say, hey, look, nothing's going on in the middle.
Loose pass, and Derek Moore can't handle. Good work by Pero. Ties the ball up, and we'll have a jump ball. The Australians certainly not as crisp as their passing as what we saw in Wellington.
I just want to see the aggression side of the Tall Blacks actually get into things where they can actually get their running game underway. Get the ball in the hands of Mark Nichols and let the guys free the wings.
A lot of feeling as Pero doesn't jump. Saville with the save. McDonald. Good work by the Tall Blacks to get back into defensive position. Rampton out the front of the zone now. McGregor bursts through the double team and draws the foul.
Well, that was a nice little nifty move by him.
Willie Burton picking that foul up, as we just see here on replay.
The golden rule is do not let them split the double team. The guys tried to form a trap.
Damon Rampton, that one was, on number 15, not 14.
That foul seemed to work out for them. They missed the first and takes the second.
2-point ball game here at Mystery Creek, 17-15, as we're in the final minute of the first quarter here, Game 2, Burger King World Qualification Series. Burton with nowhere to go. Rampton, Damon, Dickel, shot clock in single digits. Special one-on-one here from Dickel. Burton's open for 3.
He'll get rebounds for you. He'll shoot the wide open J for you.
New Zealand hit the front for the first time. It hasn't been dynamic. It has been partly ugly. However, it's been effective. And a soft call, soft foul. That one that was called on Damon Rampton again, which will put him in a little bit of bother.
Here we go. D-Mac tries to split the two guys, get inside the seams, give out a nice dishing pass, and he gets called with the foul.
Certainly contact was there, but one wouldn't expect a foul to be called from there in league play. And perhaps justice prevails as McDonald misses the first.
It's not like last night. It seemed like they're just struggling from the line. They already missed 2.
It's just things a little bit tighter, a lot more on the line as we're tied up at 18. And Dickel just looking to make sure of the final possession of the first quarter.
I like these one-on-one plays. That's the big barrel camera in the corner.
And it will be an Australian possession, and 0.4 of a second on the clock, and Tab Baldwin calls a timeout. Well, Adrian Boyd, without trying to second-guess the New Zealand coach,
Far corner.
Yeah, why would he be wanting this?
You guys got to remember, Tab Baldwin knows this game is
Tony,
very
get Willie.
special, and at the same
Okay.
time, every possession means a
Tony
lot.
there. Piro, ball side right in front of him. Okay? And Phil right under the basket. Okay? Phil, if it touches your hands, it's got to go straight up. You're going there, right there. Tony, you're going to the front of the rim. Piro, you're going straight through. Just go through and up. Okay? If nothing's on, hopefully Damon's man will be sucked in. Damon, if it's in your hands, straight up to the basket. Okay? 0.4 ain't no time to dick around with it. It's got to be shot. Tony, you're going to the front of the rim. Phil, if they switch, little jumper right there. Okay? That's all we're trying to do. Everybody got it? Yeah. Phil, front of the basket for Tony. Piro going through. I think it's over here. Make it be over there. All right? Let's go.
Hughes, 1, 2, 3, Hughes.
Oh, I called it the Australian ball. However, because that was the way referee Coloco was signalling, but certainly, yeah, it's a New Zealand possession as Dickel lines up to accept the ball from the referee. And, well, they got it inbounds, and they got Tony Rampton. However, he couldn't hold, he couldn't control. We're tied up at 18. Quarter time, game 2. As again, Australia secure possession, as you would expect with the height advantage that they have. McDonald, Marr, looking for something a bit better than last night is Brett Marr. Great move by Moore inside, however. And under pressure, I should say, the finger roll is good. Derek Moore, another Sydney Kings player. It's much to their improvement. To Jones with the bailout. I don't know why he didn't choose to shoot that one, Phil Jones, perhaps feeling that the defensive intensity which has lifted upon his person tonight.
He's, like I say, he's definitely the guy with the cape on. But well, like I say, once Phil Jones started to get hot and get him a nice couple good looks, he is good for a couple.
I think it was an advantage call played by referee Webb as Moore put Rampton on the floor. As he tries to respond, does Derek Moore. Perro does what he does best. Tall Blacks on the break. Rampton, Damon, and underneath to his brother. Put it down as an assist.
Oh, yeah, you have to. I think he squared up and said, hey, where's my bigger brother at? He just says, all right, big brother, this was for you. As the big party with a good one. And we got a turnover.
Yeah, they forced a turnover again. And it is the Tall Blacks by 2.
We got a substitution into the ball game. We got Little Rampton coming out and Dylan Belcher back in.
Yeah, and fair enough too, as Damon Rampton has 2 fouls. Phil Smythe looking a bit perplexed at referee Colson. Or is he looking down the bench at his opposite, Tab Baldwin? For a man under so much pressure, he does keep his composure, to Smythe. Jones, look, very physical inside. Phil Jones nowhere to go, gets called for the progress.
Well, yeah, like I say, I think Phil Jones' attitude right now is like he needs to do something with it and go directly to the basket on things. He's trying to get his scoring, he's trying to get his points on.
After 11 points in the first quarter, game 1, Phil Jones has yet to score in game 2. Australia looking to work their set as Dench, no, Jones gets called for the holding foul. The reply to referee Colson was, you're kidding.
Here we go here. Decided to play a nice little 2-man game, pump fakes. Decided to take a dribble back out. And,
Again, yeah, contact on the arm. Whether he was holding or not, I'm not sure. I don't think Axel Dench was disadvantaged in any way. Paulinaro in shirt 7 has come into the game, and referee Coloco comes up with a call this time.
Ooh, I don't know. Look like they're picking up my Tall Blacks at about now. If it's not one referee, it's another. 3 referees out there. I don't think there was any contact in that one. Like I said, the Tall Blacks need to start playing smart and let the fouls go so that way they can get possession of the ball and run it right back at the Aussies.
Yeah, that foul went on Dylan Boucher, which is his second, so New Zealand's starting to get into a little bit of trouble. As again, you see the Australians only working at 50% from the free throw line. However, they will retain possession after the loose ball went out of bounds off the hands of Tony Rampton. 22-21 in favour of New Zealand. Ball in the hands of McDonald. Goes one-on-one with Jones. And just after the contact, Jones just leaned back and said, go, because I don't want to get called again.
I'm waiting to see the Tall Blacks actually going to do what they call it. This is a post play for the inside guy. You find out they were just cut and flash right down the middle. It's like a motion offense just to get the ball moving. Hopefully it frees up a shooter like Paul Hanari, and he scores for 3. That's the original Tall Black who did the stuff with the Olympics way back in the last year, 2000.
Yeah, it was well done as Jones again had nowhere to go, and Hanari got a little bit excited. Boucher came up with the strip, and referee Webb says that Darren Cameron had the last touch. Crowd tells you their feelings.
Here's the replay of it. Dylan and fighting for the balls, getting scrappy. Oh.
Good call, referee Webb. Good call.
I don't know. I would like to play the advantage. Got a little pushy match with Big Pero Cameron. They don't know. He's the biggest Kiwi we have.
Stands at 6'6", 130 kilos of Maori muscle. And they're working him hard. Nielsen got free, a great screen there by Melmoth. And in the end, it was far too easy. Pero decided not to chase. He was looking for a foul. 25 all here at Mystery Creek in Hamilton. The Australians playing to live on in the series. New Zealand playing for history. Pero goes and looks at Dylan Boucher. However, an off-the-ball foul is called on Daniel Egan, who was wrestling with Tony Rampton.
And you got to remember, the Kiwis are posting up very hard. Tony Rampton, he's a big 7-footer. When he gets in there, he actually bends the knees, puts the hands out, and it's hard to get around that guy. He is very muscular himself.
Egan sits down, Saville comes in. New Zealand need to move. They do. Jones. Boucher, Pero. Rampton. Oh, in and out. It was a good shot to take.
Yeah, you got a 7-footer shooting threes. And I think he shoots with confidence, I tell you.
Plays his basketball in Cairns. And certainly lifted that franchise in Australia. Good work by Hanare. Oh, no. Someone forgot to rotate there on the defense. Luckily for the Kiwis, Saville can't punish. Now it's New Zealand on a break. Hanare. Pero just with the composure. Plenty of time on the shot clock. It reaches 10 now. Gaines, just some loose handling. It seems to be a little bit slippery out there, certainly at the New Zealand end of the floor.
From the New Zealand side, I think they need to just more or less keep it simple.
Oh, Boucher with his quick hands. And good call, referee Koloko.
That's what we need for the Kiwi side of things. We need more of those little loose calls. We need more of different possessions. You can see here, drives to the hoop, decides to dish it off. Good hands by Dylan Boucher. Guy tries to save it, gets a little bump from his own player. And once again, we got traveling.
Heads up play, triangle for the Tall Blacks. Is it Adrian Boyd?
This is more or less another set play, but they're actually trying to get a free open shot.
Yeah, more of
Phil Jones into the ball game.
More of a motion offense there as they gain the rotation to Burton. Boucher gets good position. However, he was on his own amongst a sea of gold. And we haven't had a score for a while. It's still at 25. Nielsen, Melmoth took advantage of the mismatch with Burton last night. Marr from outside. That's where he'll punish it from that corner. Brett Marr better suited to the 2 spot.
Oh, yeah, like I tell everybody, Mystery Creek is definitely a shooter's gym. All shooters love to come to this gym. Oh, we got Dylan Boucher looking for a squeaky left-hander up the glass.
Great feed from Burton, the 39-year-old rookie. Now has to play defense, does Big Willie. Melmoth puts him on the floor. No roll. Pero. And Colson has picked up the foul on Melmoth for swinging his arms as he was falling to the floor. I don't think he hurt Pero. I don't think he made a dent. Pero's just sort of, you know, he's made the referees draw attention to it. Have a look at this, Adrian Boyd.
Once again, backs Willie Burton down. Tried to go for the charge. Didn't get it. But Big PC comes for the rescue. And gets swacked across the face.
Certainly a far more physical encounter we have here tonight. And we hope you're enjoying it on C7 in Australia. And, of course, one sport here in New Zealand. Pero, great spinning move. And Nielsen comes up with the foul.
Well, that's what we need. And that'll get the people down here in Waikato tickled, I tell you. Look at Big Pero Cameron. Big solid guy, posted up the little fella, decides to do a nice little spin move, and the guy lost his footing there.
This will give us a far better angle. Yeah, well, he was out of his cylinder, wasn't he, Matty Nielsen? He was out of his cylinder, and perhaps Tony Webb helping Big Pero out there. Burton. New Zealand certainly don't have the dominance that they showed early on last night. Ma with no option. Only just got it away. McDonald, he'll hit you every single time you give him the opportunity.
He's one of those smooth guys. He's a veteran player. He knows exactly when to shoot, when not to shoot, and tries to get everybody into the ball game. That's why he's so valuable for the Australian team.
Saville on Pero. Curtin.
We only got 6 seconds left on the shot clock. And we go into Dillon.
Yeah, well, he's been effective all night getting in that back door. And they've fed him the ball. He keeps scoring. Dillon Boucher doing exceptionally well, as we see at the other end of the floor. McDonald with the answer to maintain the margin at 4 in favour of the Boomers. And probably a good workout for New Zealand, just showing that they basically have to work and gain the foul call. And is it on Nielsen? No, it is on Saville. Timeout on the floor here at Mystery Creek. It is 29-33. By right, that is being challenged here this weekend in New Zealand. Pero successful.
You gotta remember, big PC. They're trying to make a statement at this game tonight. I'm trying to tell you, it's like they know for a fact you're not going to win the game in the first quarter. You're not going to win the second quarter. It's in the fourth quarter where everything's on the line when you're going to win this game.
Another offensive rebound for the Tall Blacks. Certainly both teams have been very effective in their step. Ma picks up the steal from Pero. Nielsen with the downtown pass and one.
Oh, yeah, like I said, the easy baskets is something when you're playing against a very crucial game, very tight game, such as tonight's game. You got to remember, there should be no such thing as an easy basket. Those are the ones that really hurt. You can see the big fella runs the court very well. Rampton tried to get back there and go for the swipe, and once again, it didn't come through for the Tall Blacks.
And Dylan Boucher will check back in after just sitting down. He's not getting much of a breather, as Damon Rampton now has 3 fouls. The fatigue factor may enter in for both teams. But in particular New Zealand, who have had their fitness questioned a couple of times at the Goodwill Games, and they don't play. They're just not used to playing the amount of games required at this level. Jones, again, he's colder than the air conditioning in this gym here, Adrian Boyd. He cannot do anything right at this point in time.
You gotta remember, and you'll find out with the Tall Blacks, they know they need this guy in the end of the fourth quarter. So what they're gonna do now is like see if they can give him a couple good looks at the basket. You'll find out tap ball. We'll see if they can get a couple nice plays just so Phil Jones get a nice feel, because in the fourth quarter, that's when this guy actually turns it on.
Pero sits down for a well-earned rest, and another loose turnover for Australia, and Brett Maher, now he's pumped. You cannot let them get hot. They lead by 8, 38-30. Phil Smythe promised a different team to game 1, and Boomers fans, they are delivering for you.
The only thing that's actually hurting the Kiwis right now is just the turnover situation. But Willie Burton's trying to answer. You got Allen Iverson for Philadelphia. You got Willie Burton. He's trying to be the answer here tonight. Big fella, that's his second three, isn't it?
It is, certainly. McDonald, New Zealand go back to their zone. Ma over Burton. Oh, that time.
Uh-oh, now what do we got? We got New Zealand style of basketball. Look at the Kiwis go.
Trazzle dazzle.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, you can see they run in numbers. Oh, the black and white was going out like a herd of zebras. Look at this. Phil Jones, pass to Paul, pass to Dylan. And once again, we get an easy tip in over the top.
35-38. All of a sudden, New Zealand are getting close again. McGregor didn't want to shoot it. He goes to McDonald, who has been hot. The tip in, no. The follow there by Axel Dench. The big 7-footer.
We find out right now that they're trying to run a couple set plays. I guess Tab feels over the set play. You know exactly where you're going to get the ball at. You know exactly who's going to shoot it.
Oh, Tony Rampton, nice spin move. Yes,
the big fella goes in, but potential three-point play opportunity coming up. Here we go. Tony Rampton puts it down. Nice little reverse pivot move underneath and gets hammered in the head and lays it off the glass for two.
And Axel Dench, after that foul, coaches say, come and have a seat, Axel.
Yeah, he's sitting on 3 fouls.
Ben Knight comes in for him. Rampton unable to convert. 3-point ball game, 40-37 in favour of Australia. Good work by Flavel. Yeah, need to get out on McDonald. Need to get out on him as well.
This is exactly where Australia is basically struggling from. They're struggling from the zone that the Tallbacks are putting on. It's a 3-2 zone. All they want to do is run at the shooters. They want them to shoot from the outside, but like I say, they're trying to pass the ball around to get a wide open shot, and they're not doing it.
Nielsen tells McGregor to move, then goes on his own. And Boucher. Let's have a look at how many rebounds Dylan Boucher has in his first half. He has been phenomenal. Yeah, well, Australians, sorry, the New Zealanders are happy for McGregor to shoot it. Dickel with nowhere to go. Flavel thought about it, draws contact from Ma.
Well, that's exactly what they need. What's going to happen now is like the Tall Blacks need to actually attack the basket. They need to get the little loose fouls now as much as they can. You see Judd Flavel, he puts his hands down and says, yeah, right, fine, I'm going to the hoop. So it's number 5 versus number 5, and Judd tries to go over to the left-hand hook shot.
Brett Maher, the Australian captain, the only man in this squad currently that played at the Sydney Olympics. And of course, throughout Australia, it's very well stated how little time he did play. Flavel unable to cut into the lead with his first attempt.
And he makes the second. I just feel as though the free throw situation at the end of the game will pretty much tell the story on who's going to win. Because right now, neither team is actually shooting it well from the free throw line. Maybe it's some fatigue from last night's game with the travel coming down to the Waikato area. But who knows?
And a blocking foul called on Perro. Ben Knight went inside.
Those are the little fouls that hurt the Tall Blacks. Here it comes here. Perro Cameron thinks he's holding his ground, just putting his hand up. I didn't see too much into that.
It could probably, Perro wanted the no call, and one could argue that case. However, that time is the challenge.
There we go. Now that's the smartness of the big guy. I know there's a little acting going on there, because I tell you, it takes a bag of bricks to knock Perro over. You got to hit him in the head with it. Here he comes there. Perro holds his ground. And what do you know?
And Nielsen dropped the shoulder in. Dickel was quick to turn around and look for the call as well. I was asking about the rebounds. Rampton has 8. And gives New Zealand the lead by 1. And another possession, and the big man said, that's okay, I'm out here.
The NBA 3. He was well beyond. He should have just stayed at half court and shot it. Big Perro Cameron, Tall Black captain, comes out shooting.
Crowd working on behalf of their team. Oh, Dickel from halfway. He was no good.
get the ball into the hands of the right guy. You find like everybody right now is playing well beyond their potential. Besides the likes of Phil Jones, need to get him more to the ball game. Last night I got a good comment about Phil Jones. He actually did a nice, sound job defensively, and I think a lot of people never took advantage of that and saw that. They saw him as a point scorer. You got to remember, last night he did real good on defense.
Daniel Egan opens the scoring for the Australians. And yeah, we talk about Phil Jones. He might have doing a nice job on defense, but certainly offensively, he is as cold as they come. And another opportunity for the Australians to stretch their lead as Rampton Tony unable to convert. Melmoth working hard to get to the post. Oh, and Boucher getting called for that. Yes, he is.
Those are some of the fouls I think Dylan Boucher needs to like let it be. I think it was going to be a tough shot. If you can see, he's trying to back down big Tony Rampton. He's not going for it. And maybe he's going to shoot a fadeaway jump shot. I think right now they're going to call it on the floor, so he's not going to even get 2 shots. Going to take it out on the side.
Yeah, part of Dylan's game is certainly just the hustle and trying to put anybody off in any way possible. And yeah, he does get called for a lot of fouls, does Dylan Boucher, Auckland captain. As we see Nielsen just momentarily lose control. Mard hits a tough one.
Mard's bringing that veteran experience, Brad. He knows these boys going to have to dig. Nothing's going to come easy for them.
Boomers by 3, 44-41. Oh, the cross-court pass by Perro, picked up by Melmoth. Mard does well. And Jones plays a good job on him on the defensive end. McDonald, Flavel guarding him. Nielsen and Perro. Nielsen spinning off the glass. Rampton picks up rebound number 12, I think it is. No, number 9. And they certainly working hard is New Zealand's only big man, Tony Rampton. Melmoth will get called for, oh no, 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, he was camping in there. He was in there longer than Yogi Bear's camp, I tell you. He was just in the lane, trying to get position as much as possible. I think Perro missed him on the first, so he just stayed planted. Now we got the likes of the Australians. See, this is their type of ball game, when they can walk the ball up, move the ball around, and basically execute a nice shot.
McDonald goes around Flavel easily, however, loses control. Perro saves the day for the Tall Blacks. Boucher back inside again. No! Basket is good, says Kenny Colson. Interference with one of the Australians pulling down the ring.
Here we go, Judd Flavel penetrating to the hoop. Dylan makes a nice backdoor cut, and what do you know? Off the glass. Looks like Dylan Boucher grabbed the net there. Hey.
Well, perhaps make up for not calling the foul. As we see Marr again going to work, looking to spark something. Turnover, New Zealand ball.
So these, like I say, New Zealand needs each and every last one of these possessions. They need to actually take advantage of them. But now they need to execute something at the other end. And get it in bounds before they get a 5-second call.
Yeah, Flavel does well. And Nielsen lucky not to be called for the reach. Referee Colson says just keep going.
Now they're going to do a lot more set plays. This should be a nice little flare cut for Phil Jones.
Into the corner is Boucher. Perro. Shot clock is on 4, 3. Perro go to work. 2. Too late, Perro. Oh, foul! Foul! With the shot clock just ticking over. And no response from the bench, no response from the scorers or the timekeeper. And the shot clock was showing 0.
You see Big PC gets the ball in the post. He knows the shot clock going down. He's about to force up a move. He decides to draw a foul.
I think he knew he was out of time too. So the big man was lucky, as shown there on the Burger King replay.
There's only 2 things you got to remember as far as playing basketball. You hate to make a foul when there's no seconds on the shot clock. You hate that. You work so hard for 24 seconds to get a nice defensive stop. And what happened? You get bailed out by an easy foul at the end. The Kiwis take advantage of it. They get an extra 2 points on the board.
Yeah, not only that, but Nielsen has picked up his 4th foul. No, it's 4 rebounds, I'm sorry. Just looking on the computer here, it's his 3rd foul. And another foul at the defensive end is called on New Zealand. Boucher has 3. The Rampton brothers have 3 apiece. Burton coming in for Tony Rampton.
Well, this is the situation I'm pretty sure the Kiwis never wanted to be in. When three of your inside players are in foul trouble, Groucho Gar's been in foul trouble. Remember, the Kiwis actually have a lot of depth inside the guard rotation with Dickel, Paul Hanari, Judd.
Again, only 50% from the line. Highly unusual for Australia. And however, luckily, Boucher had that last touch. Oh, great work. That's a great rebound by Boucher. Pero wants it on the wing. Oh, D-Mac with the steal. Pero will get called for that foul coming in late.
Oh, yeah, that's a frustration foul by Pero Cameron. He thought he had an easy pass backdoor. D-Mac had great hands of D-Mac for the Australians. Puts the hand inside the passing lane. Comes down. Judd to Pero. Pero tried to go back to him. And D-Mac puts the hand inside the passing lane.
Burton switching on the screen. McDonald from the corner. And loose ball again, Boucher. He's doing a huge amount of work, Dylan Boucher. Flavel, it will be an Australian ball. No, referee Webb says New Zealand.
So they need a lot more of that from their guards. They actually need the guards to get inside the paint and create something for the big fellas.
45 all here in the third term. Game 2, World Championship on the line. World Championship qualification on the line. Pero again from range. Loose ball, New Zealand possession. Dickel came in for Flavel on that last inbound. New shot clock. Well, it's wound down to 15 as Pero gets trapped inside, and the turnover. Oh, luckily he gets it back. They're open under the basket. Give and go, Burton, Boucher.
Oh, yeah, like I said, that's an unselfish ball game right there. One turnover to another turnover, and you get Dylan Boucher with an easy layup underneath. Here we go here. Dylan to Willie, back to Dylan, and it's a finger roll over the top of the rim.
Melmoth getting worked over by Burton at the opposite end. And Egan comes up short. Dickel has 1 on 3, so he pulls up that time wisely. Burton thought about the shot. Boucher. Dickel wanted to shoot that one. The fumble allowed McDonald to get in his way. And now they just wanted to run something. Again, shot clock single digits. Boucher! On the trail, Dylan Boucher.
He's killing him. He's the animal here tonight. Dylan Boucher's killing him. Dylan Boucher's, he's getting rebounds. What he had? He got about 6 rebounds. He's also doing the scoring. He's leading the Tall Blacks to 15.
And Jones will get called for the foul over the top that put Maher on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Let's have a look at the Burger King replay. As we see Jones just trailing Maher, and first bit was ball, but then the arm came down on the shoulder, forcing him to the floor.
Yeah, the Tall Blacks actually need to save their fouls. They need to more or less get the tempo of this game up and going a little bit, just so they can take advantage of the quickness of Mark Dickel, so he can get the ball down the court very quickly and very rapidly.
Australians shooting 60% from this position, and New Zealand will be hoping that they maintain that less than credible average, although Maher goes a long way to improving that, as New Zealand have put the Australians in the bonus. They have 4 fouls already, 14 fouls halfway through the third quarter. Boucher looked at Burton at the top.
Oh, yeah. That's Dylan. Not only did he come back as being a potential Tall Black, he's a starter. Not only a starter, look at this guy. Puts the ball on the court, goes for a nice little backdoor layup.
And Maher replies at the other end. So cuts it back to 2, 51-49. Pick and roll from Burton and Dickel. Jones. He just doesn't even want to shoot the ball at the moment, Phil Jones. He has gone absolutely dead cold. Again, he bails out. Burton from range. Damon Rampton off the glass.
Damon Rampton is one of those guys who each and every time. He just waits around. He plays his role for the Tall Blacks. He's no potential scorer, but what do you know? He will get a nice defensive stop, an offensive rebound, and a nice putback.
Great defense by Boucher. Meant Saville had to bail out. Turnover. Dickel on the break. Jones running with him. He goes that time. No! And Nick hits the floor. Doesn't secure the ball. Now it's the Australians with a 4-on-3. And Saville goes. It's a blocking call. Blocking foul, Dylan Boucher.
That's one of the things you did not want. Dylan's doing such a good job. Look at this. Saville puts the ball in court, decides to go straight in. Dylan's like, hey, look. Go straight back into the white kettle draft.
Good call. Good call. He certainly didn't ever establish position, but also one, apart from that, is his 4th foul. It's a good foul because you never give up an easy basket. You don't give it up in under 14s. You don't give it up in internationals.
Yeah, but he's playing such a good ball guy. I would rather have Dylan Boucher. He's leading the team in scoring at the moment. He's leading the team just about in rebounds. He has 17 points. We're not even into the 4th. Big Willie Burton with another rebound.
Sparky Dickel has the talent that can carry this team. Everyone in Australia will remember his 35 in the final game in the NBL semi-finals for the Titans and showing his shooting prowess.
That's one of the things Dickel is not known to have a strength for shooting the three-pointer, but hey, when he does have the confidence to shoot it, he shoots it well.
The Australians trying to force it. It's a little bit of a McDonald and Dickel contest. The Titans teammates. As Henare bails out to Dickel. T-Mac says, if you're going to shoot it on me, I'm going to take you to the rack. It gave New Zealand the ball. Dickel working over Marr. Spinning. Damon Rampton open.
Well, once again, from one brother to the other, Rampton misses the shot. Big brother's like, I'll see if I can get the rebound for you, little brother.
The Kiwis are up by 6. We're into the final 3 minutes of the 3rd term. Inside foul.
It's the tag team of the brothers, I tell you. They're looking for each other. It must be a family thing. They're only looking for each other tonight, I tell you. Look at this. Say, come on, little brother.
Do you want to break? It's time.
Little brother goes straight through. Gets a foul.
Timeout on the floor here at Mystery Creek. The crowd are loving this. We hope you're loving this at home. Let's go into New Zealand.
Let's work to get the ball in the post, okay? We got to keep pushing the ball up the floor. We're running one. We're running one. Okay? We want to run one wing as well. Okay? Run one wing. Tony, let's get you there. Willie, let's get you as the passer. Okay?
Look at Morley up for top mark here. Morley, you're here. Morley's there.
Now listen, don't let them lay off of you. Don't catch the ball out here if you can. But you need to identify early.
Deciding factors into the ball game. The best, what I call the best 6th man in New Zealand, like I say, is the crowd, the fans. And they're actually into the ball game.
Well, you saw a shot of Australian coach Phil Smythe after that timeout. And now he is feeling the pressure. Damon Rampton fails to add to that pressure. It is the Tall Blacks by 6. Never before have they been in this position. They have shown a mental toughness unknown to New Zealand teams in recent history. The crowd is working. McDonald needed the help. Marr from outside is good. Brett Marr, the captain.
That's Victory XA. He knows what this game really means tonight. He's definitely trying to get his shooting on. You can see the Australians look like they're into a Oh,
just
big brother, little
another
brother.
version of the triple toast offense. Got the backdoor cut, but Damon unable to convert again. And the Australians now have an opportunity to get inch closer. Saville, Damon Rampton. The tip in, no, it is secured by Ma. How did he get that over Tony? The strip, it's intercepted by Hanare. New Zealand doing oh so well, but Donald not called for the reach behind. Just maintain composure, Kiwis. Hanare, Dickel, looking for some movement from his big man. Shot clock says 10. He goes on his own. And trailing is Tony Rampton, gets called for the walk.
Oh, yeah, that's one of Mark Dickel's specialty pass there. Knowing Tony Rampton didn't even think it was going to come to him that time.
Can't blame him from that. He's having a huge game. He's our only big man, Tony Rampton.
Oh, yeah, he's playing very big tonight. He's leading the Kiwis in rebounds. He has 11. And you got Pero Cameron with 6.
Moore goes to Ma. McGregor inside to Ben Knight. And Dickel fouls him, which will send him to the line.
I'd say now I'd rather give a foul for the little guards like Dickel and Paul Hanare to pick up the fouls than one of the big boys. If you can see here, the Australians are working the ball around very well, trying to find the open man. The Kiwis need to find a faster job and actually rotating defensively just to make sure they get a nice stop. Those tonight are just shocking.
Teammate of Tony Rampton at Cairns. Every time you say something like that, Adrian, the reverse that New Zealand, what happens, my friend?
What are they shooting? They're shooting with 67% from the free throw line.
Yes, well, New Zealand are only at 60%, so as you said, it would be a deciding factor. 1-point ball game here in Hamilton. Inside to Dickel. Back out for 3. It's going to be short. Burton underneath.
The junkyard dog, the scrapper, Willie Burton. He is actually playing his heart out, I'm telling you. I spoke to him last night. He said, man, he just enjoyed himself. He's proud of what he's doing. He's proud to be to make this his country. He's doing all he can.
Brett Maher under pressure. Rampton Tony secures. Hanare on the break this time. Has Dickel right? Chooses not to go anywhere. Now he's looking for help. Burton. Hanare. Tony Rampton's not going to shoot that. Dickel, that's where they need him. Ball in his hands. Takes it on himself off the glass. The trail! The trail from Rampton!
Now this is the Kiwi style of basketball. You see, they're actually feeling it. It's only 14 seconds left with all these balls. They may try to get the last shot.
They trail,
but it's not happening.
They're not. Dickel again. Put a nail in. Put the lid on the coffin if you can, Kiwis. It's Australia's ball. And are they calling the quarter?
It might be, I think, 1 second or 2 seconds left on the clock.
4 seconds, it appears, the signal was from Tony Webb. Tab is over questioning the bench.
Oh, yeah, he's not happy with that call.
You saw in the corner of our screen it showed 2 seconds.
Not 4 seconds, it's 0.4.
Oh, yes, I think that's what Tab's biggest argument is. He knows there's not 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
And the only reason why in basketball, you got to remember 4 seconds is plenty enough time to get a nice shot up. And what Tab doesn't want is, like I say, he want to play possession by possession. And he knows for a fact, if he doesn't have the ball, he definitely don't want those guys to have it.
Tab normally wins these arguments too. He knows every single rule. He normally wins these arguments.
Well, like I say, Tab Ball is a basketball fanatic here in New Zealand. All he does is live, breathe, and see basketball tapes, read basketball magazines. He knows every player, young, old, everybody. He also speculates young talent.
Let's adjust the scoreboard because it's New Zealand 60, Australia 55, Tab Baldwin 1, Phil Smythe 0. 0.4 of a second remains in the third term. As everything just gets reset. compromise.
Tad Baldwin wins again, they said.
It's a compromise. And Ben Knight couldn't do anything with it. 60 countries, 260 countries play basketball throughout the world. These Australian Boomers are ranked 4th.
And you got
New Zealand not ranked.
Oh, but the Kiwis are playing from the heart. They're playing because it's, look at it. How can you not play hard when you're playing at home in front of your hometown? They won down there in Wellington because the crowd was definitely behind them. They look like might get a win here tonight because the crowd is definitely behind them here.
Australia will gain the first possession as Tony Rampton went too early with the tip. Yeah, you talk about heart, Adrian Boyd. These tall blacks have hearts bigger than the South Island. Right at this moment in time, Dickel working over McDonald, turnover. That's the start we need. Now we need a conversion. I apologise to C7 viewers for the hometown call, but this is monumental if it goes their way. As we see Boucher working, Rampton showing, and it's an Australian ball.
I like the aggressive move by Dylan Boucher to go put his head down and go straight to the hoop. You see, they're not actually setting for an outside shot. They want to get a foul or a layup.
McDonald, his teammate from Victoria, Mark Dickel, has done an outstanding job on him. Knight from range. Egan last touch and throws it into the legs of Tony Rampton in a very, very clever play.
Yeah, so that's a very smart move. He had nowhere to go. He had a 7-footer blocking off one baseline and Dylan Boucher blocking off the other. Just threw it off the legs and gained possession.
Well, no box out on D-Mac allows him to score. He's on a 3-point ball game. Boucher. Perro. Henare.
They're doing it. All Blacks are doing a lot of movement.
And loose ball, Perro, they need to get a shot or start thinking about it. Rampton's going to the hoop. Nothing happening for him, and you just need to show a bit of composure to the Kiwis. They're still in control. The alley-oop doesn't go. And Perro with the save, only momentarily.
There's Mark Dickel scrapping.
And Dickel comes up with the save. He scrapped, he reached, he groveled onto the floor, and Ben Knight was called for the foul.
Well, it was a nice alley-oop play. Did not go on. Perro with a nice little save. Like I said, Australians thought they had possession, but once again, you got the scrappy Kiwi on the floor going for every loose ball and change as possible. You see the Tall Blacks right now, they're going to see if they can get a lot more movement in offense.
60-57. Almost 2 minutes of this final term has gone. Dickel started stepping his way all the way to the basket.
Who was in his way? He left him. Holy Toledo. He went right by D-Mac. Look at this. Left him standing.
The Burger King replay saying it all. No one can stop this man on this Boomer team. And again the foul called on Derek Moore.
And that's exactly what they need. Now we're playing Kiwi style of basketball. They just need to now execute a nice set play here. You can see this Kiwi basketball. They're getting the ball now. Mark Dickel's bringing the ball up. He wants to spread the court.
Yeah, New Zealand very, very wide. The spacing is crucial. Perro goes to Sparky. Perro looks at the tray. Oh, that would have hurt Australia if it fell. New Zealand still needing to work. Perhaps another turnover. Ma uses a screen of Knight. Crowd working. Tipping from Moore is good. Back to 3. Oh, quick offense transition from Sparky. Oh, Rampton, it just went straight to him. Off the glass, yes. Again, they stretch the lead to 5.
Like I said, they want to take anything they actually can. You will find out Dickel came down with a lot of confidence on that one. We got D-Mac trying to execute the offense for Australia. Ooh.
Yes.
He silenced the crowd.
Ben Knight is certainly showing his versatility. Boucher. Oh, great defense by Egan. Stopped him going to the boards. Perro back to Henare. Young, exciting career ahead of that man, as well as Dylan Boucher. Perro posting up. The crowd telling there's only 3, 2, shoot the ball, Boucher! Shot clock violation called by Tony Webb. He was looking above the board. He was looking at the clock. He saw it tick over to 0. So well done to referee Tony Webb with that. Again, Pero has been caught in that position a few times. Dylan Boucher sits down. But I don't know whether it's just they're not used to playing here at the Mystery Creek Event Centre, Adrian Boyd. They're not used to looking at the shot clocks, and they certainly can't hear it. But the crowd was yelling and screaming, and Pero should have done a bit better on that option. Marr goes inside to Moore, who gets fouled.
Well, Moore's actually doing a lot of heavy work for the Australians underneath. He's getting a nice little tip backs underneath. You can see Marr didn't have a shot up. Decided to go into this fella. He's trying to do a nice little pump move underneath and comes up with the foul. I like to think when the Kiwis are in with the shot clock down with less than 10 seconds, they try to get the ball to playmakers or get passers in that situation. And like I say, Imperial Cameron, he's one of the best big men in the country as far as his passing and scoring capabilities, as well as Mark Bickle. Mark Bickle's an excellent passer and penetrator. So you need to get the ball to some of those guys to actually create something and get something going.
1-point ball game. 6:15 remaining. Dylan Boucher has 4 fouls. Pero Cameron has 4 fouls. Phil Jones on the floor. He has not scored. He had 28 in game 1. He had coming to the wire. He has not scored. Again, the shot clock. He's at 5. Henare needs to put something up. Off the glass, Damon Rampton can't secure, and that will be his 4th foul. This is crucial. This is ominous for the Tall Blacks.
So these fouls side of things, he's just killing them. Paul Henare with a desperate 3-pointer because the shot clock is running down. Rampton thinks he has a rebound and just sees the ball and decides to go after it. Gives him his 4.
Pero read the screen, and Marr just goes all the way. Far too easy. Now they're showing the class. Australia lead again for the first time in the second half. They were dominant early. Tab Baldwin. Well, if anyone can do it, what's going on in that brain? What is going on in that brain? The master brain.
I'm pretty sure Tabo would like to get the control of the tempo of this game back up to his speed, where actually the boys are actually doing a lot of running. Or Willis trying to execute backdoor plays.
Burton was bumped by Saville and nothing called. Phil Jones just scored 2, Phil. Get a layup, get anything, help us out. And Saville just rips it out of his hands.
And, you know, Phil Jones, he's doing a nice job sound defensively, but I think offensively tonight he is definitely struggling.
Well, he hasn't scored, Adrian Boyd. Again, just the runaround for Marr. However, that was a shocker. Burton cleans up. Henare, he goes inside. No, Love Rampton is absolutely sensational. The big man has been so magnificent on both ends of the floor. That's his 16th rebound. The Burger King replay will tell it all.
You can see Paul Henare goes to it, and Tony Rampton gets it off the glass. Didn't even have a chance to come down as he goes back up strong for the 7-footer. Like 16 rebounds, he's doing a mission. He's definitely on a mission. He's playing well above he's playing like a Tall Black supposed to play underneath. 16 rebounds, 14 points, and he has the opportunity of making 2. There we go, Tony. I said the free throw situation is killing both teams. New Zealand now is shooting 59% from the free throw line, as well as Australia shooting 70%.
Let's see what New Zealand learned last night. They were in this position at 65 at the scoreline at a very, very similar point of the game. And we're just going to do all that again as Jones will inbound to Dickel. No full court pressure from the Australians. They await the speedster. Burton, 39-year-old, plays in Hawke's Bay. He's been in New Zealand for 16 years. Rampton, Melmoth on him. Movement to Jones. Again, the shot clock is at 7, 6. Well, they're obviously deliberately trying to run it down. Damon Rampton, yeah!
That's a nice little slashing cut. And a nice unselfish pass by Phil Jones. You can see he's saying, hey, look, where's my teammates at? One flashes down the middle, and there you go. Off the glass and easy, too.
Dickel reads the pick and roll much better that time. As we go, they're getting the intercept. Dickel needs to get past Melbourne. No, decides that the discretion is better than Vella. Good ball movement by the Tall Blacks. They lead by 2. Can't come up with that one for Phil Jones.
Like the thing, like this is the Tall Black style of basketball where they can actually go up and down the court with the Australians. That way, with the point guard situation, regardless of the speed that the Australians have, they're actually at an advantage. When they do a half-court game,
Dickel shows Mar the baseline and he takes it. Rampton can't secure it. Dickel does. He's showing all of his experience. Rampton Damon. No follow on the shot. Good box out by Melbourne. Now the Australians a chance to tie it up. Tony Rampton hits the floor. Mar wants the lead. And it should be an Australian ball. Referee Kolonko says it is. Crowd doesn't like it. Timeout on the floor. It is tense. It is torrent. It is brilliant. It is New Zealand 67, Australia 65. Defeated Australia in a series. Melbourne, McDonald. Mar was left open as the double team in and out. Loose ball, Boucher, New Zealand ball.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they need. They need every break they can get when it comes to that. The only thing is like right now, you'll find out in the half-court game, New Zealand's actually struggling to get 2 points on the board.
Well, so are Australia.
It's a it's a very good defensive game, only giving up 67 points.
It was always going to be the way after New Zealand scored 85 last night. Dickel on McDonald, Burton for 3. And the big arms of Ben Knight secures possession. Straight into the hands of McDonald. Jones marking head. Boucher reaches McDonald on his own. Ties that up at 67.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't want him. You don't want Daryl McDonald. He's an excellent player. You don't want him to start taking over and having a lot of confidence in his scoring ability, because like I say, he can pretty much do it all.
Well, Phil Jones decides to go off the glass, rejected. And whistle's gone, referee Tony Webb. And the foul is on Dylan Boucher.
That's on Dylan. I think that's his 5th.
And yes, Dylan Boucher is going to sit down. Dylan Boucher is sitting down. He's had a brilliant night.
You can't beat Dylan as far as his scoring capabilities. Dylan ends up with 17 points. As far as his rebounds, Dylan had 6 rebounds. He had an excellent game today, even down with the 5th.
Yeah, he's worked hard, has Dylan Boucher. Pero Cameron comes in for him. Not a bad substitution. Pero is also on 4 fouls. No, so a man who knows how to pick him and how not to. Nielsen over the top. And it gives Australia the lead, 69-67. We're into the final 2 minutes. Dickel, Burton. Need movement from the Tall Blacks. They go to Rampton, Tony, Pero. Dickel back out. Shot clock hits 10. Again, he goes around McDonald. Jones just steps inside the arc. Again, nothing but the back iron.
He's definitely having a problem tonight getting any good shot in.
Oh, Mar does exceptionally well to save the possession for Australia. However, Jones comes up with the steal. New Zealand need to score on this possession. One feels Dickel loses control. New Zealand ball. Timeout, New Zealand. We are 67-69 in favour of the Boomers in game 2. They need this. New Zealand need this. They don't want to have to try and win the series tomorrow at North Shore.
I want you here. Okay?
Extra time will be a 2-minute break and then 5 minutes.
Willie.
in. I tell you, this is one of those games that'll make you bite your nails, but I don't have any more nails. I bit all my nails off last night in Wellington. I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm biting my nails. We got a minute and 19 seconds left when the Kiwis are down.
New Zealand possession, 17 seconds on the shot clock. They need to get it in, they go long. Ferro gives it to Dickel straight away. He has a look at the shot clock. He's listening to Tad Baldwin. Tad Baldwin says, get wide. Spacing. Dickel doesn't get around McDonald. 3 seconds. 2, put it up. Blocked by Knight, and there was another violation. Dickel trying to go on his own. It was specifically designed for him by Tad Baldwin. And New Zealand just need to score. They now need a defensive stop. They did it in Wellington. Now they must do it in Hamilton.
One good defensive stop for a nice possession. And they need a 2-point basket at the other end to compensate for that.
Ball in the hands of Melmoth.
Here we go.
Phil Jones. Dickel's on the break. He doesn't go there. Burton hands another strip by Knight. That could be the ball game, one feels. Unless the Two Blacks can get it back. McDonald slowing things down. Looks at the clock, says 30 seconds. 14 shot clock. Jones comes out on him. Running it down. 8 seconds on the shot clock. McDonald, Jones, screen from Melmoth. Keep working, Tall Blacks. Oh, Jones has bailed out the referee with 1 second on the shot clock. 1 second on the shot clock. 1 second away from the defensive turnover they needed.
Oh, 1 second. That's a very crucial call.
And another timeout. And the Australians, their body language is a lot better than what it has been since their arrival in New Zealand.
You can see the crowd. Everybody's waiting for something big and something spectacular to happen.
They might double. We might have to get open to go back to the ball. Let's go.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
Come on.
Hey, cut, guys. Screener's got to open back up to the ball.
Phillips, get the ball in. I don't mind if you line up in a straight line. All right, just want to get the ball into his hands or to his hands if we can. If you can't get it to someone else, they're going to foul us. Go to the free throw line, take both our shots. No big deal. Okay? Got a foul again. Get it, you down the ball. Then you down the ball. You guys try. Let's go, boys. Don't foul on a shot. Go, go. Is there for New Zealand?
You can see right about now, with this type of Australian huddle, the first thing they want to do, they know for a fact that Tall Blacks will play some nice pressure defense. What they want to do is set a lot of screens and have the screener actually open up to the ball to free themselves, because there's going to be a lot of overplaying. These guys are actually, this is a very crucial play right now.
Yes, it's unfortunate they didn't go to the free throw line. Rampton is now fouling. It's Damon. And that was to put them on the free throw line. Stop the clock, get the ball back.
Yeah, I think that puts him on the bench. That's his 5th foul as they bring in Harold Cameron.
Damon Rampton's night is over. He has worked exceptionally hard as well.
You got to remember, they're only down by 2. If this guy misses a free throw.
You're talking about Australians.
They've been having a... Yes, what I mean. If he misses a free throw, these guys have been shooting from the charity stripe good all night. Now remember, come on. We got the crowd behind. He misses one.
One possession. 3-point ball game. Full court pressure. Dickel. It will go to Perro. Will it? 4 seconds. 3.
Willie Burton.
Willie Burton does it. What do you do? These Tall Blacks are not going home yet, buddy. They said you forget where you're at. You're in Waikato. What do you think is going on?
Do we have OT?
We're going to extra time now. 70 all.
Let's go to the Burger King replay and let it tell the story.
What a shot.
39-year-old rookie, Willie Burton.
Everybody's cutting. Let's get the ball inside. Power the damn thing up. We're not even in the bonus yet because we haven't gone inside. You got to screw your brains on. We got to move the ball and move our bodies. All right? I don't want to try to do anything tricky. I want to go play good basketball. Now to the defensive end, we got them under some pressure. Now let's keep them under pressure. All right? We know they will buckle. We know they will buckle. We got to do the job. We can't just stand in front of them. Now, let it work. Defense, work on us. Every side. Down the field, let's go.
You can't go wrong with something like that. You heard Pat Bowen. He said he don't want to do anything tricky. A win's the win. He wants his players to go out there and just play solid basketball. He wants to do it on the defensive end and actually get the ball on the inside on the offensive side of things. According to the Australian, I'll tell you, the likes of Mark Dickel penetrating and giving it to Willie Burton. Tell you the truth, if you talk to Willie after the game, that would be the biggest shot of his career. I'm pretty sure he'll be saving the videotape of this game, I tell you.
70 points apiece.
I told everybody, all thing you have to do is allow the best sixth man here in New Zealand to get into the game, and that's the crowd. It is actually going berserk here.
Yes, however, now New Zealand, the foul factor comes into it. Listen to the crowd.
Look at the love, the support.
Minutes one imagines, one thinks, is commenced by Australia. Matt Nielsen. The defensive call is going by this crowd. Knight. Ma, the captain. Melmoth, the turnaround. Burton, they love him.
That's Big Willie. He's doing it Willie style. Forget Will Smith. This is Big Willie style he's doing it, I'm telling you. He feels it.
Pero just working it. 70 all it is. We are in overtime. Shot clock on 4. Pero for 3. BC. Paul Cameron for 3.
Oh, what do you do?
Well, we talked about the heart of this tall black team. Inside, back the game.
That's the Superman. It's Big Willie style.
73-70. New Zealand get another chance to stretch this lead. Burton, Jones, Dickel, Pero, Rampton, Melba fighting on the post. Shot clock reads 4. Pero, Nielsen leaning on him. Burton again. All the time comes up short, does Big Willie. Knight on the break. Dickel does well. Reach in. Bail out to McDonald. Nielsen. You Kiwis need to play defense. Australia just wanting to score. Working over by Dickel. Again, Rampton and Melbourne wrestle. The double team on now. Burton again was called. Burton again gets called. That time it's a foul.
I don't know. I think that it's the aggression of Willie Burton. I'm trying to tell you, his foul count at the moment is...
That's his first foul. And he gets an outstanding ovation as Tad Baldwin chooses the option to give him a rest.
Tad Baldwin wants to go with a smaller lineup to actually take care of the basketball. He got the likes of Paul Hanarian, who's the best point guard in the country as far as taking care of the basketball with no turnovers.
73-72, compliments of the free throws. And we have 3 minutes 10 remaining in overtime. Phil Jones still yet to score. Pero wants it on the post. Hanare.
Rampton wants it on the post. They go. The turnaround comes up short. Perro's fighting. Marr secures for the Boomers. And they're just taking their time. They know they are now back in reach. New Zealand have not hit a shot since the big three to Perro. Tony Rampton picks up the blocking foul. And that is his fourth.
That's a very tough call to make on the big fella. He thought he was there. I don't know about that one. I say once again they're having. Oh, I thought he was going to start. I thought he was going to say they're going to have problems at the free throw line. He's stepping up with a lot of confidence on this.
Ben Melmoth has been solid. And Australia hit the lead, 74-73. Perro with the save. Dickel. Back to the big man. Panare. No give and go. Jones. Start shooting, Phil. Shot clock, single figures. Need a bailout. Dickel looks at the shot clock that time. It reads 5. Crowd starting to panic. And so does Rampton. No. Oh, no love. Now they need another stop through the Tall Blacks. 74-73, they trail by 1. That's been an unbelievable battle from both sides. The Baby Boomers and the young Tall Black team as Melmoth over Rampton causes Tab Baldwin to have a timeout.
Once again, like I say, the score is 76-73. 2 minutes left. Tall Blacks got a timeout. I like to think that Tab actually want to get the composure back with his guys and say, hey, look, guys, we got to win it defensively. We got to get some stops, and we got to get a solid, easy-going baskets at the moment.
Australian brains trust. Phil Smythe heading in for a chat now. We'll stay with him.
Be a little bit less clinical, a little less emotional. Okay, we want to be effective in what we're doing. We need some emotion, but not over the top. You get the ball offensively, have a look at the ring. Even if you don't want to shoot it, look at it, make it fun. Okay?
Thanks to the sponsors of tonight's game, Military Freedom Air, Polaris Trust, and to the Peking International Hotel, Moose's Casino Bar, and 189.3.
You're going to have James on you. They know you should put it in you. Bring the ball around the other side, okay? Phil, we have a foul to give him you need. Okay, let's go.
Cool, calm, collected Phil Smythe in what would have to be perhaps one of the most tensest moments of his career.
Yeah, you got to remember this is the do-or-die game for him, and even for the Tall Blacks, it's just nothing but an opportunity coming at the Oysters.
Plenty of time for New Zealand. No need to panic as they trail by 3, 76-73. They have scored once in this period, and Jones, it's just not his night, is it? Phil Jones, the Australians have done a great number on him, just shattering his confidence tonight. And New Zealand, well, they can afford the foul in the sense of stopping the clock, but they can't really afford the foul to let the Australians extend the lead as Marr. A lovely little left hand from the captain, Brett Marr. Dickel trying to force the issue. Perro thought about the 3. Panare from the corner. Perro re-saves. Dickel, now the Kiwis need to start thinking about a quick shot as they trail by 5. 78-73. Perro for 3, yeah!
Big PC's coming to light again. He's actually putting the game well within reach for the Tall Blacks.
Minutes 15, clicks over, and it's 2-point ball game, 78-76 in favour of Australia. They need this to survive, to take the series to tomorrow. The Tall Blacks hoping to finish it. D-Mac over Dickel. Rebounders is Perro.
Oh, yeah.
Outlet
Now they need an easy 2 here. They don't need a 3. They don't need the likes of Chris Tupu shooting a 3 on this one. They just need an easy 2.
45 seconds remaining in the overtime. 2-point ball game in favour of the Boomers. Perro from range, he's feeling it. Rampton tip in, no, secured by McDonald. Get a stop, get a foul, do anything. The crowd is screaming, and it's the strip. No, it's a foul.
30 seconds left on the clock.
Burger King replay. You make your own mind up there.
I'm kind of lost on that one. I think, like say, that's a big fella dribbling right at you. Little Paul Henare just stuck his hands and said, hey, look, you're not going to hit me in the head with the ball. I'm about to take it from you.
Any score here in New Zealand will need at least another 3 on the next possession. It will need to be quick. Four-point ball game perhaps could be too much for the brave and gallant All Blacks. Dickel, get it down there quickly. Burton back into the game. 80-76, 20 seconds ticks over. 12 on the shot clock. Dickel, bail out to Burton. Jones for 3, he hasn't hit anything. He has now. Another foul. Look at the turnover. There's a foul from Dickel. It's a foul from Dickel, sending the Boomers to the line. He calls for the crowd. He wants some noise. 7.4 seconds remaining.
He does a very crucial free throw.
Is it remaining? We could go to double overtime.
If he misses one, I'm pretty sure that the best 6th man in the league will tell you the crowd here would definitely get on their case. You can hear the chants about to start roaring right about now.
Ben Melmoth has been so solid from this position.
Oh, they're making a lot of noise.
This to make it 3. Tipping doesn't go. New Zealand 5 seconds. 4, 3. Dickel. No, loses. Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. It's in the air. It's on. Heartbreak for New Zealand. Jubilation for Australia. 81-79. We are going to game 3. And we'll be live tomorrow from North Shore Event Centre in Auckland. Tip-off will be 1 o'clock. An unbelievable effort and titanic struggle, Adrian Boyd has ended in a 2-point victory to the Boomers, 81-79.
So you can't ask for a better basketball game than to have these guys put their hearts on the line. It's just sad when you got to go into the overtime game and everything depends on the last second shot.
81-79 ties the series up at 1 apiece. The Burger King series, the winner tomorrow will go on to Indianapolis, USA, September next year to compete in the World Championships. 81-79, we go to game 3. We move to Auckland tomorrow, live on TV1. When we come back, we'll have some interviews with the winning teams and also possibly some reaction from the New Zealanders.
That win, I mean, it's a very tough win for us. The guys really dug deep when it really counted. You know, making those pressure foul shots is what it's all about. Now we got to regroup and see if we can get the 3rd one tomorrow.
Your heart must have sunk really when Willie Burton sank that late 3-pointer to level it up at 70 all after 4 quarters.
Well, I mean, that's the sort of game of basketball. That's why it's such a great game. I mean, you know, both teams have been playing, you know, tight the whole series. You know, New Zealand are playing with a lot of confidence, and at home they're really tough. But under the circumstances, I thought the effort from our team tonight was superb. And if we can build on that, stay with the confidence and get better, then we'll give it a real good shot tomorrow.
We know that you're under a fair bit of pressure back home for results from this Australian team. The side's reacted pretty well to last night's loss, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very new team, and you know, they took it very personal. And, you know, we probably didn't play as well as we hoped to play tonight, but we found a way to win. We found a way for guys to contribute, and now we just got to get really positive and keep the momentum flowing into the game tomorrow.
OK, and there's not much time before that, so enjoy the rest tonight. Won't be much of it.
No, we'll enjoy the 2-hour bus drive to Auckland now and try and get ready to come out and play tomorrow.
OK, thanks, Gordy. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, some interesting words from Gordy McLeod as we look at our top scorers. Dylan Boucher, Pero Cameron, Tony Rampton. The effort from those three in particular, the effort from the New Zealand team was phenomenal to come from behind. Boucher fouled out early. Cameron and Rampton were also in foul trouble. Brett Maher led from the front. A captain under pressure. He carried his team with his tally of 21 and put them over the line with the help of McDonald and Nielsen as well. Let's go back courtside with John Macbeth. It's with the big man, Pero Cameron.
Well, you were happy last night, not quite so happy tonight, Pero, but oh so close.
Yeah, I think the score was a little flattering. I think the one shot we missed it towards the end there. We hit a couple big shots during the game just to stay in the game. I felt the Australians were the stronger of the two teams tonight, and disappointing. You know, life goes on.
Well, it was level after the first quarter, level after the fourth quarter, extra time. So you had the chances there, didn't you, all right?
Yeah, I think, again, in patches, you know, I think they played better for bigger patches than we did. And we got to try and get it together. They dominated inside. You know, Malmuth had a terrific game, and he's a very good player. But, you know, we got one more game, and we need to take it at them, I think, a little more instead of dwelling on this game. And we're still in the hunt. We're not quite there.
It's tough, isn't it, though? 3 games, 3 days, you haven't got much time to recuperate.
Oh, that's what it's about. I think who can come out best prepared, fired up, who can get to the better start. I felt they started scoring easy, you know, and that's not what we wanted. And you know, we hung it tough towards the end there, but still, you know.
Yeah, we're still touch and go, Pero. It was a fantastic effort tonight. Goes to the wire now. Good luck for tomorrow.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Okay, so that's Pero Cameron, the New Zealand Tall Blacks captain. Now, it goes to the wire. This has turned out to be a fascinating series to see which of these two teams
qualify for holding New Zealand basketball's top coaching job. But while Tall Blacks coach Tab Baldwin has pledged to stay with the team after their historic World Championship qualifying win over Australia, he concedes he's open to offers.
But I don't think I'm great at anything yet. I'm only 43. I got a long way to go.
Today, Tab Baldwin was coaching coaches at a seminar at Auckland's King's College. Baldwin's only had a couple of hours sleep in the last 3 days after his We Don't Get Paid New Zealand team shocked the world number 4 and multi-million-dollar Australians by 2-1.
I would love to be paid, Howard. I mean, who wouldn't love to be paid for doing a job, doing it well, and doing something they love? But there are many, many people in this world that have labors of love, and I'm just one of them.
But Baldwin, who can shoot as well as coach, is open to offers.
If a big offer comes along, you have to look at it. You know, you do have family. And you're right, you know, you don't make money in New Zealand coaching basketball. So it's who I am, it's what I do, and if somebody came along throwing a lot of money at something, it certainly would turn my head.
His priority now, though, next year's World Champs in Indianapolis.
I don't care if it's 24/7 for the next 10 months. You know, we'll put the time and the effort in, and I'm itching. I can't wait to get into it.
Also on the agenda, entry for a New Zealand team to compete in next year's Australian National League.
The Aussies want us. We've got the team, most of the team. We've certainly got the coach. It's a small matter of money.
$3.5 million to be precise, but for one weekend, New Zealand basketball proved money isn't everything and that amateurs can beat the pros.
Bloody good to be a Kiwi, mate.
Howard Dobson, 3 News.
Confusion today with...
And the Tall Blacks can't wait. Their historic series win over Australia yesterday automatically qualifies them for the event. And today, the players were still floating on cloud 9. Michelle Pickles caught up with them.
Whether it's the Weet-Bix or the Riceys, this is the team that has what it takes to beat Australia.
I mean, everyone was proud to be a Kiwi last night. I'm sure there was a few tears. I know I had a couple coming down my cheeks.
No one ever thought we'd win. You know, no one thought we'd win a game, let alone 2. So for us, it's, you know, it's almost vindication for believing in yourself.
And perhaps vindication for coach Tab Baldwin, who was previously overlooked for the job.
We all have knockbacks and setbacks in life, and we all have people who believe in us, and we all have detractors. So The story isn't about me, it's about the Tall Blacks.
You know, he's stepped up and done a fantastic job now and has proved that he's worthy of, you know, coaching the Tall Blacks.
The Tall Blacks' first series victory over Australia sends them to the World Champs for just the second time. An enormous achievement, acknowledged today by one player who was part of the team that first beat Australia 23 years ago.
They go back to basketball obscurity, really, because they can't go anywhere for the next 2 years, and we can.
And the Tall Blacks hope the victory will help their build-up by encouraging more high-caliber teams to make the journey down under.
You know, now there's a little more incentive for them to do that because, you know, we are there now, and they don't like to go up against the unknown.
The players are up all right, and they won't be coming back down for a while yet.
Good evening. It happened one hot afternoon last January. The Ajani family were driving along in their car when a 600... Next year, celebrating with the Tall Blacks in a few minutes. What a weekend for the Tall Blacks after the Ansett collapse. The Australians loathed us, and after the Tall Blacks destroyed the Boomers yesterday, they're going to detest us. No, say, Friday night, the Tall Blacks scored their first win over the Australian basketball team in 23 years. Saturday, they got beaten again, the New Zealanders, and then yesterday, they won again. When they had to win, they won again, and they won the series, and they beat the world's fourth-ranked Boomers, 89-78. Now, this is the first time the Tall Blacks have ever beaten Australia in a series, and that victory yesterday sends us off to next year's World Championships in the States.
Stick a fork in the Australians because they're done. Stick a fork in them. It's done. It's over with.
Off the splendor, mate.
The New Zealand men's basketball team has created history. The Tall Blacks have beaten Australia 2-1 in their World Championship qualifying series.
You know, I've been in New Zealand 16 years now, and I don't think anything would ever top this. It's just, it's a part of history, and I'm just pleased to be a part of it, yeah.
Total fluke. Can't get it in the round, and Nanaro with the recovery. Yes, this is the ball by New Zealand. It's 66-65. Good pass underneath. Pick and roll for Burton.
Today, bloody good to be a Kiwi, mate.
Well, the Tall Blacks coach Tab Baldwin is with us, and two of the team's star players of the series, guard Phil Jones and the man who was called in at the 11th hour forward, Dylan Boucher. In fact, Dylan, they took you across to Australia. You were going to be at the Goodwill Games. You were the video analyst.
That's right.
Aye? He made you video analyst.
He did.
And then after a little while, they made you sixth man.
That's right.
And now you've had this stunning, you know, reincarnation in the team.
Yeah, just been given the opportunity, and Tab he showed confidence in me. But yeah, just went out and just did the best I could on the court, and it's all panned out well for me.
Feel good, eh?
Fantastic, yeah.
Feels good to be a Kiwi, you say. What keeps you here?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's just a habit. You know, you start doing something, you keep doing it, and it's a country that's been very good to me. Great people, and I've enjoyed my time.
So suddenly before the weekend, you're nobodies really on world rankings, world standards, and suddenly you're in the top 16 in the world. I mean, that's effectively what's happened, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess when you get to the World Championships where there are 16 teams invited, you'll be in that ranking when it's over and done with. So now it's trying to get as high as we can in the top 16.
Australia beat you at the Goodwills, didn't they? You were going well, beating all kinds of really tall fellas. Of the darker persuasion, some of them too. And then you get to Australia and then wacko she goes, the New Zealand disease sets in. But suddenly we are right. Suddenly you came right for the series. Now, what was it? Do you know?
I personally think it was just we knew, we got confidence from 3 quarters at the Goodwill Games, and we knew we could take these Aussies, and we showed that Kiwi spirit and that Kiwi confidence and just took it to them.
What happened?
Yeah, definitely. We had a very good build-up also to the series, which is something that we've lacked in the past, and I'm sure that helped us out a lot.
You went to camp?
Yeah, well, we had the Goodwill Games.
Goodwill Games.
And then basically we were focusing on the Australian series.
You play for Nelson?
That's right.
You come from Reefton?
Yeah. Great place.
You phone Mum?
Mum and Dad are always there, yeah.
Always where?
All the games.
Oh, at all the games?
Yeah.
You phoned home?
They're always there too. Greatest supporters.
Where's your mum and dad?
Dad passed away this year, but Mum is at home in Florida, and I could hear the excitement through the telephone.
Tell me about you've pulled off this magnificent achievement, Tab, and you've been committed to New Zealand, what, since 1988, something like that. You came here. This position of Tall Blacks coach is unpaid.
And it always has been.
Auckland pay you?
Yeah, I'm paid have been paid to coach the Auckland basketball team.
Yep. How many professionals in the New Zealand team have played in this series?
We have 4 at the moment.
Okay. Of course, you did this without Kirk Penny and Sean Marks as well, which is great. You know, it shows the depth developing. That's what they say in sports interviews, isn't it? It shows the depth, doesn't it?
That's right.
Anyway, where was I? On the money. The money. Those Australians, would they have been pros?
Yeah, very much so. Those guys were all making really good pay packets, 150, 200,000 and up from there.
Were they sour at the end? Were they? What? No, that's. I don't want to lead you. I don't want to lead you. What was their response when you defeated them?
It's very quiet.
Yeah. Was it?
They were very unhappy. And I mean, it really hurt. It really hurt. And particularly when their coach comes out and says that the category he felt that they got beaten most badly in was effort. And that's very un-Australian, frankly.
Because they were ahead until, what, the last minute of the third quarter?
Yeah, they took it to us in the first half.
Yeah. So, sponsorship, I mean, have you got sponsorship? What supports this? I mean, here you're, you know, you're heading off to the World Cup. 15 of those teams, I imagine, would be magnificently financed.
Well, I mean, Australia's a good indication. They said 1.2 million was what they stand to lose by not qualifying for the World Champs, and the other countries would be that or more. We're not.
No. What support do you get? I mean,
well, Burger King's been very good to us.
Yes.
Freedom Air has been very good to us, and the Polaris Trust is, you know, these people have been wonderful supporters. But beyond that, it's pretty thin in the ranks.
Big weekend.
Oh, very much so.
Large weekend. Yeah. Large weekend of playing and then a weekend on the large.
Definitely.
Fantastic. And of course, you're going to have to keep that momentum going, aren't you? That's the thing.
Well, we do. We do, and we will. We've got some committed people in Wellington and Basketball New Zealand, and I think that we're not going to make the same mistakes that soccer made in '82 and hockey made in '76. We'll learn from their mistakes. Good team, good interaction between the coach and the players. Hey, Dylan?
Yes, I mean, we're like a tight family now. We've been in camp so long. We got home today, and I think we all felt a little bit lost. Didn't know where to turn. Not being with each other. Yeah, that's right. So being here, we've done a good thing to bring you together like this again. Yeah, you have done a great thing. To support, because Mum's in, oh no, where's Mum? Mum gone home to Reefton, never mind. So the team's all together, it's been a wonderful experience. Congratulations. People are very proud, that's all they're talking about today. Well, thank you so much for your support and all of their support as well. A pleasure. So Dylan Boucher, Phil Jones and Tab Baldwin, thank you for coming. In the glory of the Tall Blacks' historic win over Australia this week. Instead, the Auckland basketballer was back doing what he does best, coaching the next crop of players at junior level.
Back down to earth and back down to business for Dylan Boucher. One of the stars of the Tall Blacks' historic win over Australia on Sunday only had a short break before he was back coaching the new breed.
I just think basketball is a sport that's widely played around New Zealand, but there's probably not enough coaches, and kids love it in the Auckland area, and I just wanted to get out there and give kids the opportunity, if they like the game, to get proper coaching and learn how it's played properly.
Boucher gave up his travel agent job in January to start his own coaching company. It's a job with pluses for him and his pupils.
Sometimes, I come in and do the mornings when I've got the older kids. I tend to join in with them and get my shots up with them as well. So it's getting that extra shooting and playing in at the same time.
And while running school holiday programs may be a come down from winning his way to the world champs, he's not complaining.
Haven't stopped smiling since Sunday afternoon, really.
And neither has New Zealand basketball. Riding a wave of publicity, Coach Tab Baldwin believes Boucher's the bloke to coach the kids.
Well, he had a great Goodwill Games and a spectacular series against the Australians, and certainly I don't think there's any doubts in anyone's minds about his position in the team. And the great thing about Dylan is there was never any doubt in his own mind.
The famous win has already caught the kids' interest.
Denaro needs to get the ball in the air from the...
They were all trying to perfect a Paul Henare pot shot. Jamie Troughton, 3 News.
Newcastle's inspirational...
Say, we've fulfilled the criteria. Please take us seriously.
No one from the Sports Foundation would appear on camera today. The Chief Executive, Chris Ineson, told One News, while Basketball New Zealand shouldn't expect an open cheque, it can expect some extra funding as a result of qualifying for the World Championship. The Tall Blacks will also receive help from basketball's international body, and they're hoping their historic victory will attract corporate sponsorship.
Right now we need to start adding an extra nought onto everything.
Basketball New Zealand knows if it can take care of the present, the future of the sport will be in good hands. Michelle Pickles, One News. Southampton was trying to climb off the bottom.
It'll be faster. Oops. I'm gonna go buy you a new pencil. Larry, run!
I'm really sorry about this, Abby. Honey, it's not your fault. We always knew this day might come. When you live with a wanted man, every day that he's free is a precious gift.
Okay, I found the emergency suitcase.
Nixon now?
It's camouflage to blend in with the establishment.
Oh, honey, I don't think these are gonna fit you anymore. Oh, I'll take them. Those are awesome. Okay, here are your vitamins.
Hey, come on, Abby, I can't haul these things around. I gotta travel light. I'm going underground.
Well, let's just move some of these 8-tracks, make little grooves.
What am I gonna listen to?
Oh, hey, Larry. Cool, look. You can use my Discman.
Do you have Strawberry Alarm Clock on CD?
Larry, nobody does. Hey, do you have a nice pair of pants and a shirt?
What difference does it make? I'm going underground.
What if underground you go out someplace nice?
Well, sweetie, I may not be seeing you for a while.
Larry, I can't help thinking this is all my fault.
No, it's not your fault. I'm the one that burned those draft records. I'm the one that crippled the Vietnam War machine. And if living like a hunted animal is the price I have to pay, then so be it.
Can't you just go stay with Grandma?
Not unless I cut my hair and finish college.
I want you to wear the warm jacket because it gets chilly at night.
Okay.
And I brought you a pillow.
Well, come on, Abby.
Well, what? You want to wake up in the morning with a stiff neck and be cranky?
I'm running for my life. I'm supposed to be cranky.
Take it.
Okay. Well, I guess this is it. Oh, I got a list of places here that if you want to contact me, you can leave a message.
Crazy Dave's Record Shop. That's a Starbucks now, Larry.
Then use the others.
The Free Clinic on Market Street. That's a Starbucks, too.
Okay. I'll contact you. Goodbye. Love you.
sorry.
Right. Hey, Greg. You're not going to believe what happened to me last night.
Does it involve a woman in a bar?
Will you let me tell the story?
Sorry.
So I'm at this bar last night, right? This woman walks up, right?
Really?
I'm not getting anywhere with her until I whip out my brand new security clearance card. Next thing you know, she's all over me like a Russian spy.
Pete, what if she was a Russian spy?
Oh, come on. They don't have those anymore, do they?
Hey, sweetie.
Dharma, what are you doing here?
I gotta talk to you. Pete, can you?
Oh, sure. You need the office to do a little desktop publishing, huh?
You were listening?
It's not his fault, honey. You were very vocal.
Oh, there's a stapler in my ass.
What's going on? What happened to you this morning?
To make a long story short, I basically had to tell my father to go into hiding.
Make the story long.
Okay. 30 years ago, my father broke into the draft board office and burned all their records, and there's been a warrant out for his arrest ever since. Do you want some lunch?
And you're just telling me this now?
Well, I couldn't tell you until he was safe.
Well, what do you think I was going to do? Turn him in?
Wouldn't you have to?
Well, technically, yes.
Aha!
But there might be another way out of this. I need to talk to him. Tell me where he is.
I can't tell you where he is unless you promise he's not going to get arrested.
Well, I can't promise that until you tell me where he is.
Then you can't talk to him unless you promise me that.
Dharma, come on. Where is he?
All I'm going to say is that he went underground where no one will ever find him.
Is everything all right, sir? Sure. Fine. Just the usual. Just the regular. What do you mean, the regular? The regular thing you do here, you know, waiting for a bus. Gonna go on a bus. So you've been sitting there all morning? Waiting for a particular bus. It's a special bus, isn't it? Yep. My bus. Okay. Well, you stay warm, buddy, now, all right? You bet. I still got it.
Their lives
Hello?
are about to take...
Why don't you tell her the truth?
...a dramatic turn.
My father is arriving tomorrow. Father is no ordinary parent.
Shortland Street, 7 o'clock tomorrow on New Zealand's 2.